මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය Ooredooගේ M-Fasa මෙදුරිකෝ PayPalගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිපඩන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය Ooredooගේ M-Fasa මෙදුරිකෝ PayPalගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිපඩන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් M-Fasa මෙදුරිකෝ PayPalගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිපඩන්නවන් දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරුගි ගොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරුගි ගොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරුගි ගොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය. උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරුදු ගොඩැන්නවාන්.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ooredoo Nation Gamers Land E-Sports Contender Series Season 3. This is PUBG, and we are still at the qualifier stage. And if you've been tuning in, we have been streaming for 2 days already for the group stage. Yesterday, we had Group B, and then we had Group A 2 days ago. And tonight, we will have the Group C qualifiers stage. And I'm very, very excited for this group stage, actually, because if you our list of teams participating for tonight, we will be seeing Akazaya, we will be seeing Syndicate, we will be seeing SDMZ. These are big names. In fact, some of these names made it to the PMNC South Asia zone. We are so proud of these teams for representing Maldives in the big screen. And now we will be going on to our very first map, which is Rondo once again. This is very familiar. We have the same map schedule for all of our qualifier rounds. It's going to be the Rondo, and then we will have Erangel later on, as well as Miramar, and then back to Erangel and Miramar for a total of 5 maps for tonight. And there we have it. We have exactly one flight path for our Rondo map for tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like for all 3 days, our rondos only have a one flight path, and there are some games that there are two, and it makes things a little bit more interesting. But all right, we'll take the game. The game's RNG is saying we'll take one flight path for everything, so we're not gonna be contesting that. That's what the game is all about. That's exactly what the game is gonna give us. But all right, we're seeing a few teams are dropping off here and there, and of course, a lot of these teams can't make it to the northern part of the map as the flight path will be limiting them towards the southern part. And as usual, we'll be expecting the 3-4-1 split for the teams. Basically, one person will go to a recall tower, keep themselves safe, keep themselves alive, while the 3 other members will go ahead and get very, very aggressive and go get as much kill points as possible. So you'd expect maybe typically it would be like a Neox factory, and also the stadium will be hotspots for dropping off. But still, since this is the southern part of the map, I'm not quite sure where everyone's dropping off in. It looks like Danshing has 2 teams that I can see as of this moment. But over here we have Oxford Esports, nearby Akazaya, and this is what I'm talking about. Akazaya is a very aggressive team. If you've seen how they play their games, they are one of these teams that will go aggressively. If they know you're there, they will choose to attack more. Like more often than not, they will choose to engage rather than staying back and not doing anything and just kicking their feet back and playing it safe. These guys, Akazaya, usually they do not play safe. They like taking those risks. And so that's their play style. That's their play style. And we saw in Group A, E2S7, yes, they do play it safe. That's why we have to kind of watch out for the typical behavior of some of these teams. And so we have observed how some teams performed in the Group A and Group B stage. For Group A, it's like it's an okay kind of aggressive, not too aggressive. They especially in the Rondo map for Group A, they prioritize survivability. Although they were quite aggressive, they made sure that they don't get picked off too early on. For Group B, it was fine. It was still aggressive, but I was hoping for a little bit more aggression. But nonetheless, a lot of teams got like basically the points. The eliminations have been equally divided between the teams. Not so equally, but a little bit more equally than I thought it would. There was no huge dominance from one team until maybe the last 2 matches for Group B, in which LHC had the 2 peat chicken dinners to end the day. And now the question is, what will Group C look like? Because if you've seen the previous tournaments here in Ooredoo Nation, SDMZ, they can chicken dinner like how many times in a row. These guys are insane. So now my eyes are peeled on SDMZ as to what they will do in this game. And talking about how they have been grouped up with Akazaya, that definitely makes things a little bit more interesting. So that's what we're going to be looking forward to for tonight. So, Group A and Group B, they did have 17 teams, but this time around we have 16 teams, and it looks like we have our first blood. It's gonna be a Bruzy, and rather, I don't think this is our first blood. Like technically, I'm sure there were some recalls that happened. That there were some teams that recalled already, but here as the MEZ Esports, they have FTR nearby. There's also Cats as well. I saw their name. It was KatzeYe, like the global girl group. But so yeah, let's keep an eye out for these guys. We have SDMZ. Obi-Wan's already throwing something into the vicinity of Chubby, and Ahmad's going at it from another angle. I'm sure this is making a lot of noise, but as well as the kill feed, it looks like Syndicate's going up against another team as well. There's several things happening right now in the map, and this is what we're going to expect. Of course, in the first few minutes of Rondo, we're going to be expecting a lot of aggression and a lot of fights. But the important thing is, as long as the teams do not get wiped out completely, as long as there's at least one player alive, they have a second chance. They can still recall, they can still have another chance in this map, and that's exactly what like any reasonable team should do. They should keep one person alive at all times. All right, we're seeing some pickoffs here. Syndicate's losing a couple of players here and there. Cuckoo's going down onto the ground. Double O Esports, still 3 active players standing. Cuckoo just kicked the dust. I'm sure we can still get a recall if there's another player from their team that's nearby a recall tower. But over here, 6-7, 6-7. I like that name. 6-7 is on the second floor. There's someone knocking down their door, although kind of just backing away. Someone threw a Molotov on the second floor, so it's definitely not safe in there. And Ayo peeking by the window. They know there's someone there. All right, that's a nice peek, but 6-7 is actually managing to basically hug this wall and avoid this. And well, Ayo is trying to get some throwables in, and 6-7 is basically changing rooms to avoid that. No, rather, it's the same stairwell. Ayo is just turning around, trying to find an entry, but it's just a little bit harder. They're banking on the audio cues from the footsteps, and Ayo is kind of just blindly throwing this grenade. They don't have a lot of information. 6-7 keeps on moving, but that's a nice throw. Ayo finally takes down 6-7, and there we have it. That is one elimination. Rather, Ayo already has 3 eliminations. This is what I'm talking about. Syndicate is one of the teams to look out for, but Oxford's already making a name for themselves as well. 4 eliminations already within 7 minutes, even maybe less. And then we have DO or Do as well with 2 eliminations, and there's a couple of teams. So 1 elimination is definitely a very exciting first few minutes into the game. This is the Rondo that we're talking about, but then again, I've seen more aggressive Rondo plays, but nonetheless, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. All right, we have finally something's happening in this area over here where SDMZ landed with Lovins Fraternity. All right, 2 versus 1. Nice shot coming in from Obi-Wan. That is a nice shot against Chubby, making this a 1 versus 1. All right, I'm a little bit confused here, but okay, nothing finally has time to go ahead and revive Chubby. I guess SDMZ's last player, 1 player, they went down into the dust. Okay, Akazaya, 2 versus 1. We got Mahu taking that animation for themselves. There's another of their teammates nearby, and that's actually Dak, who's going to be taking down Itachi in a revenge kill. Messi finishes that off. You're in the wrong game, dude. You should be in the World Cup. I'm just kidding. But here, Messi is just hiding right behind. Who's trying to get away, but nice shot coming in from Messi, but Messi's taking a lot of damage as well. Daku needs to get the revive as well as Messi, but Mamba's last person standing. This is not a good look, but it's a good thing Mamba manages to take down Manu just in time. But now you better hope Mamba can safely revive everyone, because this dude was the last person. That was so close. If Manu just managed to like take down the last person, Mamba just managed to take down Mamba, that would have been so, that would have went so wrong for DØC Esports. It's a good thing Mamba won that 1 versus 1. We would have seen our very first squad wipeout, but nonetheless everything went out well. We're all chilling. We're all just chilling, and now we're about 10 minutes into the game. We have a couple minutes left to go before the recall towers will mostly be unusable already, especially once the stage 2 circle closes in and we don't have a lot of access to recall towers anymore. But yeah, Daku did find a stray car going around, and now they're just kind of trying to get that car to stop. All right, we got Mamba giving the chase. Things happening around the map. I can see other teams kill feed. We have Lovins Fraternity finding Mighty. Oh, nice shots. We have some connections, but it's not definitely not gonna be enough. We're not worrying too much about stage 1 circle. I'm sure the damage is pretty much negligible. You can slap on a bandage and you'll be fine for a while. You'll be fine for a couple of minutes. Get some painkillers, and guess we'll be staying in the rooftops for a second. There was KH nearby, but it looks like we're kind of just trying to read at what Lovins Fraternity is trying to do here. Maybe they'll go for those rotations. Maybe wait out Mighty, or just pretty much get out of there. They're 1.7 kilometers away from the play zone. They have to get into a good spot. They don't want to stay here for too long, especially since the risk versus reward sort of ratio isn't really working here. But okay, we got a few things happening in the kill feed. Pokety goes down, gets eliminated. Then again, I'm not too worried about individual eliminations yet. We worry about full squad wipeouts, so we can all just chill. All right, we got the next stage of the circle closing in, and I'm not seeing a lot of recall towers nearby, so we can pretty much just assume that the initial battle royale where there's like second chances, there's no more chance of that. There's no more chances of recall tower, like maybe a little bit, especially since I can see a recall tower in Rintiang, and also one more near Hongshang, but a little bit further into the yellow zone. So there's still a chance for a recall, but after the stage 3 circle, I'm guessing that it's probably not going to be possible anymore. But here, DØC Esports going up against SDMZ. SDMZ's pretty much having them surrounded inside of this building, and that stage 2 circle is putting extra pressure on both of these teams. Amon's cooking up that grenade. Zayu's knocking down their window at the second floor. What was Amon doing? What was Zayu rather doing? Daku manages to punish them for that. Just looking at the window, so opened up, just standing right there. But, well, they couldn't quite finish off Zayu just yet. Daku was nice shot. All right, but Daku will be going down by the hands of Amon. Agent's gonna be following up next. And Messi's just healing up. Predator and Messi still alive. Daku could still be saved. They have to be very, very careful. Both teams have to be very, very careful here. They have some losses. They have some knockdowns, and they're trying to stay alive. Zayu goes down into the ground. This is going to be a 1 versus 1 down in the ground, but it's Messi that's going to be falling down and getting into the red. Daku is dangerously low on health. That blue zone will chip away that HP slowly, and they cannot stay onto the ground. They will take a lot of damage from the situation, but Predator manages to get 2. Alright, but the last person standing in DØC Esports unfortunately gets taken down by Agent with a clutch. But at what cost? As the MZ lost 2 people from that skirmish, and now they're trying to revive 1. And this is gonna be a duel from now on. Still, His EMZ now at rank number 1 at 6 eliminations, especially with Doc that got picked off with 5 eliminations. That's the end for their run in Rondo. SDMZ can still have a chance, and I have faith in SDMZ. These guys are good, but they have a huge numbers disadvantage from now on. We're still 14 minutes into the game. You cannot be a duo this early. It's just a little bit too hard, especially since there are so many teams that are still fully loaded with their roster. But nonetheless, yes, let's watch out for Syndicate. They have 4 eliminations. They have Akazaya on their sides. Alright, Mahu's dangerously low on health. Alright, we're taking the chase. Mahu, where's this guy going? Manu has another team on their sides. That's X7, I believe. And X7 is quietly just staying in their compound. This is what I'm talking about. Akazaya very aggressive. They will not camp. I have almost never seen Akazaya choose to camp. And Ayo, oh, they're added to Akazaya, and Akazaya, they're out for blood. Manu is looking at down below to Ayu's location. And rather, this is Syndicate. This is not SDMZ, rather. But Syndicate, yes, Ayu's hiding right behind this shed. Some grenade action coming about. Cloud hiding behind boulders. Some exchanges. Not much things happening. Alright, Ayu goes to ground, but VDR is the one who will be taking that elimination for themselves. That's a kill steal from another angle. And well, Syndicate's just jumping around trying to avoid all of this damage, and Mahu is trying to get a really good angle up against Syndicate's Cloud, and we can see Aku and Itachi coming in as backup. This is the 3 versus 1 now, and now they have the numbers advantage. Cloud goes out to the ground, very, very low in health. That's 10 HP if I can see it. Cloud cannot do anything in this situation. They'll have to take those bullets and go on to the lobby. I'm not sure if there's a recall tower to save you from now on, but that's definitely the end for that particular player for Syndicate's Cloud from now on. Alright, we got Voidera. I can see them cooking up a grenade. I'm not sure what they can see back there. I guess Akazaya might be making some audio cues there, and I'm not sure if this is a good idea, giving away your location. But nonetheless, Akazaya 3-2-1 3 versus 1 situation, especially since Asase is all alone in their team. Zex Maito throws in a grenade. Robin goes out to the ground. Zexos EON Shen try to get away, but unfortunately they'll take a bunch of damage from those connections. Alright, Emmy goes to the ground. Fubi trying to finish that off, and they're just cleaning the place up. Alright, sees another one from KatzeYe. Oh, they're going down to the ground, but there's another player trying to save their playmate. But unfortunately, Fubi, they're very low on health, but still going on the aggressive, but will be punished for that. But nonetheless, it's a KatzeYe that will be saying goodbye instead. And it'll be Zexos EON who will be taking 6 eliminations for themselves. There's a lot of teams that managed to get a decent amount of points from this situation, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see so much teams, so much points happening, so much aggression. It's not as aggressive as I hoped, but that's mostly because Neox Factory and Stadium weren't accessible from the flight path, so I'm sure people didn't really know where to land anymore. But here is Zexos EON. They find Syndicate as their third party. Alright, that's a grenade, and that's a horrible place to be. And Fubi goes down onto the ground, and now it's just Wiz, the last person standing. If this guy gets taken, it's all over for Zexos EON. They take 1 down, but unfortunately, the numbers worked against them. Syndicate gave away information. Ayu unfortunately got sacrificed back there, of course, just a few minutes ago, but nonetheless, we have another team casualty. Now we're down to 12 teams. And Akazaya is still alive. All 4 players still standing. We got 6 eliminations that I can see. And meanwhile, I can see SDMZ still alive. We got 3 players that they managed to recall, I believe, since I last saw them as a Syndicate 10 eliminations, doing really, really well. We got Akazaya slowly climbing the leaderboards as well. They got 6 eliminations for themselves. Alright, we see some sprays. Manu up on the ground, Mahu out in the open as well. And this is what I'm talking about. This is Frat Akazaya behavior. Very, very aggressive. But Aku, alright, some shots coming in, but I'm not seeing anything connecting enough to turn into a knockdown just yet. We got another casualty. We got another team that got eliminated off. And we'll just have to keep on watching as to what's going to be happening next, or which team will be the next to see the lobby, will be the next to be kicked out. Therefore, we'll see that stage 4 circle close in and force a lot of the teams in the yellow zone to make a move on, especially syndicates. They need to move, and SDMZ, they have a chance to gatekeep basically the other teams because they are at the edge of this circle. Here, Akazaya is also at the edge of the circle. They could gatekeep as well, but I don't think there are any other teams towards the yellow zone in this particular area. All right, we got Aku trying to get some sprays on, and I'm not sure which team this is standing out there. All right, some damage is done, but it's not gonna be enough for any knockdowns. And this team, they're just kind of walking around using the smokes as a cover, still staying in the roads, managing to actually get away through smoke after smoke. This is kind of the first time I've seen this, but it's working, so I'm not gonna say I have no comment as long as it works. It was really good though, like jumping between smokes. It's effective. Double O, I can see they have 2 eliminations. They have Akazaya in their side and crosshairs. Got the 4x scope coming in. Not gonna be enough to take down Manu, however. Manu's dangerously low on health. There's SDMZ nearby as well. Let's see. Pokey from a distance. Manu trying to rotate out of the area. We got the blue zone closing in, so they have to worry about that, especially since we're talking about stage 5 circle. The damage is gonna hurt a lot. Alright, Aman goes onto the ground. Pokey takes that knockout for themselves. And we're just watching out for Double O Esports. They don't have a building for themselves, but they're also surrounded. They're also very much surrounded. We're seeing another team getting picked off. And Kaneki's just jumping from window to window. They have their crosshairs on. They know there are teams out there. They have information. But we're just going on to chip damage from now on because they don't have the best angles as of the moment. Naturally exit, joining in the fray. They got 2 eliminations so far, but they lost Maverick just a while ago. And they are going towards the direction of Akazaya, but Akazaya has their vehicles and they're going quite fast. And 1T1 actually has a car. They're going quite slow, so I guess they're just adjusting their positioning. Okay, Manu goes down to the ground, hides behind this building. They're just peeking, trying to find any possible pickoffs in this situation. But Akazaya, sooner or later, they have to make their entry. They are outside of the play zone. And the play zone is going to be restricting in a couple of seconds, so they have to move. They cannot tank a stage 6 circle damage. But here, we can see some movement coming in from this red team. And Manu's just waiting for an opening. Waiting to punish any wrong mistake, any wrong movement from these teams. And it's gone quiet, actually, in this Rondo map. And we still have 9 teams and 25 players left remaining. So we're kind of just on stage 5 circle, just forcing. It's like mostly a open field sort of situation in this late game. Okay, naturally exits. They have their cars, they're out in the open. Alright, we see some sprays coming in from X7. Okay, we got a knockdown coming in from their side. Voidera is gonna be eliminated off. Naturally exit, still at it, trying to find any sort of movement. No? Once again, after that, we'll be forced to move on. We're stage 6 into the circle, and that circle is closing in into a lot of open case. Naturally, Exit took a bit of damage back there, but they have to heal up. Alright, we see another elimination. It's gonna be Lovins Fraternity, if I'm not mistaken. So we're down to 16, 19 players left remaining. And Zayu looks like they'll be going onto the ground. Kaneki takes that knockdown for themselves. I'm not seeing a confirmation. However, Syndicate still 3 players standing. SDMZ in trouble. There's 1 player about to get knocked out. And as we saw a while ago, I believe that was Zayu that needs to be revived. Akazaya down to 2 players. X7 still a full squad alongside Double O Esports. And next, of course, is a trio. 21 almost getting their head popping out, and if ever that happens, Cuckoo could possibly get the headshot that they need, but it doesn't seem to be the case. There's a lot of smokes coming about. Visibility is hard in this situation. All right, we got some entries coming in. Akazaya versus Double O. We got 1 casualty. Cuckoo goes down to the ground. Mahu takes a bit of sprays on, but the wall is saving this guy. Alright, we got Easy going on to the ground. Cloud finds that revenge kill. Instead, Itachi finds Susu. That's 2 down on the side of Double O. But Akazaya, they already lost 1 player, but they got 10 eliminations as well. Can they find their 11th? That is the question. They are still going at it at Double O. They find another. And that is 12 eliminations. Here, SDMZ. Alright, they got 10 eliminations. They got 3 players still standing. Still have Akazaya to worry about. Just moving in, and it looks like there's Mahu and Itachi in the same car. It's not gonna be a good thing, but if you have 1 car, then you gotta take what you gotta have. But Itachi gets taken down, and as the NGB Esports manages to wipe out Akazaya, now it's just between SDMZ next and Syndicate. And so with that, naturally exit. Oh, next is naturally exit. All right. Next, last person standing, we got SDMZ with the numbers advantage and Syndicate solo player as well. And so Zayu spots next. Mipu hiding behind with half health, trying to heal up. I guess they're at 3/4 health now. And Mod is quite far away. Now, as the MZ, they have a huge chance of getting this chicken dinner from the numbers alone. But if things go wrong, if things go horribly wrong, if Syndicate and Next unknowingly team up and pick off SDMZ one after the other, then who knows, there might be a surprise chicken dinner clutch from one of these solar players. Alright, we got the drone shot. Mipu slowly crawling onto the ground. Amon's right behind this cherry blossom tree. Zayu's towards the evergreens. Mod behind the triangles. We got a grenade cooking. Not sure where it's going. Oh, Meepo gets taken out by Zayu, and that's it. We're down to 2 teams. Syndicate and Mod gets taken down by Agent, and to nobody's surprise, SDMZ Esports get the very first winner chicken dinner for tonight, and that is our Rondo game. Congratulations. They got more than 20 points from this map, from this very first match for this Group C qualifiers. Congratulations once again. What a job. Well done. Great survivability, great aggression, and just overall great strategizing coming in from our very own STMD. And here are team stats. We got 2 eliminations coming in from Aman, and Obi-Wan got 1. Agent has 6, and Zayu has 5 eliminations. And we're seeing the team stats, the damage. In fact, it doesn't matter if you got 2 eliminations, because Aman also dealt 631 damage, and that is a huge help towards your team. Agent and Zayu each have around 500 damage, and got Obi-Wan with 326. I believe Obi-Wan got picked off early on, so they couldn't quite get into the fun towards the late game. But here are the match rankings. 24 total points for SDMZ. Syndicate coming in at 19. Akazaya has 16. X7 has 12. Naturally Exit and Zexos EON has 7 each. We got so many teams with 5 points. Double O, Lovins Fraternity, Vendetta, Oxford, and DØC Esports each have 5. Voidera and XLN KatzeYe has 2, NGB and KH have 1. Unfortunately, we got 2 teams that got 0 points. And here we have our MVP. It's going to be Mahu from Akazaya with the 6 eliminations and 732 damage and exactly 1 headshot. So the damage is about 100 more than the best player in SDMZ, but nonetheless is still an aggressive player and such an amazing player that is Mahu from Akazaya, and that will be for our very first map for tonight. And so with that, SDMZ takes the very first winner chicken dinner for tonight. Question is, how many more will how many more chicken dinners will SDMZ take? If you've seen the previous tournaments, you already know how SDMZ works. But yes, we will be moving on to match number 2, which is Erangel after a short break as usual. So guys, do not go anywhere. We'll be seeing you soon in a few minutes.
මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය. උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිබඩැන්නවාන්. මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය. උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිබඩැන්නවාන්. මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය. උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරුදු ගොඩැන්නවන්.
And we are back once again. This is Ooredoo Nation Gamers Lad Esports Contender Series Season 3 for PUBG. And we are still at the group stage. We're still at the qualifier stage. And we just witnessed just a few minutes ago the very first map for our Group C qualifiers. And we saw that SDMZ takes our very first winner chicken dinner. And of course, well, this is gonna be our match number 2 in a couple of seconds, or maybe a minute or two or so, and we'll be seeing our very first Erangel map, which is our match number 2. And after that, we'll see the Miramar as usual, and then match number 4 will be Erangel, and then match number 5 will be Miramar. So, well, there's still a lot of time for the teams to kind of chill out and not have too much pressure. They still have 4 chances left to go. And hopefully the teams that basically they did get a lot of points from the Rondo map. I'm very much hoping that they catch up in terms of points later on in our Erangel and Miramar. So basically, yep, this is our second chance, basically, for the Group C stage. And we will be going on to our very, very basic, very usual Erangel map for tonight. Our very first one, in fact, for tonight. And so that flight path is going to be starting off from, I don't know what this place is called. It's like south of Stalber, at the foot of the mountain near Yasnaya Poliana, going all the way down to hospital. And everyone's going to be dropping off already. We can see that there's a lot of hotspots that can be accessed, especially Yasnaya Poliana. There are a lot of teams that love that place. I don't know why. And Mansion is also accessible. Severny, if they want it. Shooting range has a lot of good guns, but could potentially be like far away from the circle. It's not that safe of a pick for a drop off, but people want to go there, then it's not so bad. Raja and school is also accessible. Pachinki is a little too far, but people like to avoid Pachinki nonetheless, especially those who don't want too much trouble. Katka's accessible. Hospitals also very much accessible. But for teams that want to go to the military base, I don't know why they want to do that, but if they want to, they'll have to take a car. Ferry Pier is way too far. Didn't quite see where the first circle is gonna end up. We got the stage 0 circle basically, but here Mipo does find a knockdown already, or is that a finisher already? Zayu goes down into the ground. This is not good. This is still very early game, and so you're gonna expect people don't have good guns yet. Mipo has a grenade, takes down Mighty already. There's 2 down on their side. On this side, whose team is this? The green team. That's Esports. It's Kaiki, the last person standing. Mipo finally getting what they deserved. Bro, Kaiki has so much hate in those shots. They're like, it took down 3 of my players. People finally meets their demise. You can feel the hate from those shots, but nonetheless, Scorpy desperately needs to be saved. I don't know where Scorpy is, but Terror and Mighty I believe can still be saved. Hyaki throws in a grenade. Maverick takes a bit of damage from that situation. And Yasnaya Poliana was on fire already. Scorpy rage quit. It's disconnected already, but okay, nonetheless, we'll be watching out for what happens here. It's gonna be a 1 versus 3. It looks like 1T1 is closing in and trying to finish off Mighty, I believe. Or no, rather, they're leaving Mighty alone. Terror is about to go as well, and so Kiyaki is gonna be one last person. And, well, naturally exits. Still three people standing. They did lose Mipu, however. 1T1 finally takes out Terrex, or rather, Terrex ran out of health already. And so Kiyaki is going to be the last person in KH. Or rather, is that Aiki? And then KH is their gamer tag. I'm not quite sure if you guys are there. Just correct me through the chat. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a 3 versus 1 in Yasnaya Poliana, and unfortunately, KH, they'll be going off with just one last player left, and so Kiyaki is gonna be going north and trying to get into safety, and that's exactly where the circle is gonna end up, I believe. I'm not quite sure because the distance closed in when they went up north. But I don't think the circle is there. That doesn't seem to be right. But here we can have a look at what I believe is Novo Repnoye, which is strange because this is really, really far from the drop off point. But Double O Esports, they're here. And NGB is also in this place. And so I think they're just working really, really hard to try to get the really good loot in this area. I'm not sure if this is Nova Repnoye, but does seem like it. But here, got NGB. They're within the shipping containers. Yeah, it really is Nova Repno. Yeah, I don't know why they're here. It's so far from the flight path, but okay. They really had the efforts to go here. Two teams, in fact, contesting this area. But all right, they don't seem to be engaging yet. Got Yasnaya, of course, naturally. Exit has control over this area, but this won't be favored by the stage 1 circle. They have to move very, very quickly after this. Okay, there's a third team in Novo Repno, yeah. I don't know why they keep contesting this place, but we're gonna be keeping our eyes for this. Alright, EU finds one person. Not sure what team they're in, but their name was So alright, EU finds Cuckoo as well. Syndicate closes in. You can see Double O is within this compound. Cuckoo already went to the ground, however, gets found out by 6-7. Lucy finds the ground as well. And this is a 3-4, I believe, 2. Double O Esports versus 2 of Syndicate. Alright, we got AU going onto the ground, but Suzu wins that 1 versus 1. Cloud, what just happened here? I don't know what the problem was. I think Syndicate's entry was a little bit wrong. They were too spread thin. They're spread too thin, rather. And it was just quite a shame. They got picked off way too early on. Syndicate's ranked number 2 right now. But okay, they still have 3 more chances after this. And, well, it's good for DO. They do have 4 eliminations from that situation, and they definitely gonna be climbing a lot on the overall rankings because of that. But there are a couple of hits here and there all around the map. I'm quite sure where to keep my eyes on as of this moment. Looks like again, SDMZ and DØC Esports are just exchanging knockouts here and there. Obi-Wan looking out the window. They're inside of this building, and Predators looking through the windows. All right, we got some shots in, but they're not going to be connecting just yet. Obi-Wan's trying to find the entry. DØC took a bit of damage, but it's Obi-Wan that'll be going right onto the ground. Predator. Oh, what? Look from Predator. They basically aura farmed that kill. But yeah, SDMZ's Amon still alive. Last person standing, however. And Predator's quite low on health. So in the grenade, let's see if it connects. It doesn't seem to be the case. I don't see anything popping up on the kill feed. And Predators, very, very low on health. They need to heal up. Okay. 1 versus 1 as far as I know. Alright. We'll be looking out for Zexos instead. They're in the ferry pier, and I'm gonna assume they'll be going off to the military base. I think the circle is maybe a military base ending, and so everyone's just a lot of teams rather will be settling into the military base very, very early on. And so with that, they'll just be making sure They don't want to go to the island a little bit too late. But okay, it seems that Doc did get picked off already. I just saw Predator going down from the grenade. And all right, SDMZ still ranked number one. We got Aman, however, is the last person standing. Oh, I saw a bit of grenade action happening. I'm not sure if there was another person. I don't see anyone on the mini map as of this moment. But nonetheless, yes, we'll be chilling out for now. We still have 13 teams to worry about, and this thing is going a bit faster than in Rondo because in Rondo we do have a lot of recalls. Here, there's only one chance. So this is like the shift from the Rondo maps all the way to the regular maps like Erangel and Miramar. There's definitely a huge shift. The teams will have to adjust their play style a lot. They can't be too aggressive anymore. They have to prioritize survivability. They can't just go aggressive willy nilly. They have to play their cards right as much as possible. But here, Lovins Fraternity, they lost a Bruzy already, so they are a three-man squad in this situation. These people are in Primorsk, so they have to move towards the circle. It looks like the circles are towards the eastern part of the map. Rather no, they are the western part of the map. If this is Ferry Pier and Primorsk, it's about southwestern sort of situation. And no, and I think Novorepnoye should be probably like towards the edge of this circle already, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure what the circle looks like as of this moment. But here, it looks like XLN KatzeYe is nearby. Nothing is scouting the area. They're quite near in this vicinity. See Rays scoping the place out. Not much to see. Everyone's chilling. Still 10 minutes into the game. We don't have to worry too much. And I guess FTR is just holding this location. Whether or not they know KatzeYe is there, there's probably a good possibility because they're choosing to stay in that area. But here, Akazaya, once again, you're never going to see Akazaya camping out in a compound. They're looking for trouble. They're always looking for trouble. And unfortunately for Vendetta, it will be them who will be targeted right now. And Senny's just peeking outside of the window, trying to see if they can get a little bit of information. And we can see Tuna a while ago. We can see they're trying to get some shots in against Akazaya. And Akazaya is making their entry. There's two on the side of Senny, and Senny's cooking up a grenade. But Akazaya is also cooking up their own grenade. Alright, they're sidestepping. Senny takes a bit of splash damage from that situation, but Akazaya is going on to the aggressive. They're going to the ground floor. Itachi's half health. If that grenade connects, it's not gonna be good. Loki's just right behind Itachi on the ground floor. I presume there's a grenade that is gonna end up, but Akazaya is kind of just peeking in. Orpheus opening the door, trying to see if someone is right behind there. Be careful, very, very careful with the windows as of this moment. All right, we're seeing the drone shots. Vendetta. We have Reed outside of this compound. Sunny as well. Grenades coming in, not connecting to Vendetta. But Reed might be in trouble, however. And Itachi manages to land that damage in. Reed goes down into the ground. Loki might be next. No, it's okay. Oh, Itachi gets caught up by the bullets, and we got the side steps coming in. Loki very, very low on health. Orpheus down onto the ground. There's two in trouble on the side of Vendetta. Up to Loki and Two Knob now. Oh, Manu goes onto the ground as well. Nice shot coming in from Two Knob. And Mahu, finishes it off. Senny goes down into the ground and into the lobby. In fact, Mahu is still there, but Two Knob's cooking up a grenade. Two Knob takes that grenade out. Mahu goes down. Nice shot coming in from Two Knob and Loki alike. Reed can still be saved, and unfortunately Akazaya will only be going back from this map with only 2 eliminations. Unfortunately, their entry towards Vendetta, it was actually fine. It was quite careful, but Vendetta defended so well. Vendetta defended against Akazaya so well. It was a mixture of really nice shots, especially from their two players, Loki and Tunub. Just props to those two guys. What a great performance coming in from Vendetta. But nonetheless, here we're gonna watch out for XLN KatzeYe. What are they up to? It looks like they're going up against Lovins Fraternity in a ship, in a boat situation. That boat's on fire. It's exploded, and now they have to swim all the way to the island. And I'm just saying, swimming is tiring. I cannot do this. I love swimmers so much because I just personally can't. I do not have the energy for that. But here we have Voidera. We have a 3-man squad, and there is double O nearby. I'm just noticing I like the top three teams. These are big names: SDMZ Syndicate and Akazaya. These guys have seen the big stages already before, and they are the top three teams as of this moment in this qualifier round. And unfortunately, all of them are also taken out, and so it's just quite a shame. But still, things happen, and now we're just gonna be watching out for what happens next. Now it's down to rank 4 below. They all have a chance to catch up in terms of points. So now we'll just keep a watch out. Everyone's just peeking actually. Everyone's just watching. Not seeing anything on the feed. And we're still at the stage. Surprisingly, we're still at the stage 2 circle, and we're down to almost half of our lobby. We're down to 35 players. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy. Things went by so fast. But all right, I'm just kind of chilling. So I guess I'm not sure where the circle is, but I'm gonna assume this is a military base late game. I didn't quite see what the map looks like after this. But yeah, there we go. We got a military base circle. A little bias towards right. So Novorepnoye is still within the circle. And there's almost no area whatsoever that's still in the mainland. It's going to be closing in really, really soon. And it looks like no team is actually trying to gatekeep the bridges anymore. And so that kind of makes sense. But also, even in the early game, no one chose to go through the bridges. It's mostly like a water battle sort of thing in that situation. But yeah, all right, we're gonna be waiting. Actually, it's still of the circle, and we are taking their time. Everyone, just take your time. And um, what I can say about the teams right now, I think I'll watch out for Double O in particular because they did really well in the previous map and in this map as well. But also Vendetta did a really good job defending against Akane. Now I'm hoping that we'll see something like that consistently all around the maps. All right, and KH, yes, their last player, I believe it's Kaiki, is still alive. I can see they're still alive from the leaderboards, which is I'm really really happy about because it was the early game engagement was absolutely brutal, and I believe was it naturally X wiped that almost wiped them out. I'm not quite sure. I think it was them, and KH is still holding on to dear life. But okay, we're seeing a bit of rotations here from Lovins Fraternity, but I'm a little bit nervous because they don't have vehicles. KatzeYe is still in trouble. They are waiting on for some rescue. And seems that Mamba has found a girl. And it looks like the play zone does take Molly from XLN KatzeYe, so that's one less player, one less active player rather. But I think they're in a bit of trouble. Babus gets taken out by Raze. Molly finally gets taken by that blue zone. Raze is trying to get even like any sort of point from this situation. Okay, nothing goes down as the guard. Finally, it's happening. Zus is gonna be getting that knockdown for themselves, but it's not a confirmation yet. It's definitely not a confirmation yet. Okay. Watashi finds Mamba, goes down right into the ground, and I think they can finish it off. Nice shots and nice positioning. NGB Esports, 5 eliminations so far. And they have quite the control over this area, but it looks like they are about almost a kilometer away from the next play zone. So it looks like the stage 3 circle perhaps might be towards the eastern part where Novorepnoye is. The blue zone is slowly closing in. It's eaten up. XLN KatzeYe. Raze does need to move as well. And alright, there we go. It really is in Novorepnoye endgame. That or maybe the open field towards its western part. We can see X7 and 2 other teams have already settled into the area. I think that's naturally exit and Oxford Esports, if I'm not mistaken about the colors. And Raze is the last person standing in FTR, so they'll have to tread very, very carefully, and they absolutely should not make any mistakes from now on. We're still at 11 teams, so there are no placement points yet. So they have to go very, very carefully from onward. That's alright. We got plays on restricting in half a minute ago. Things are going a little bit slowly, but this is PUBG. Basically, it's a patience game. And now everyone's having a lot of time to settle in. Here, Zexos EON. They'll be taking this compound at the edge of the circle for themselves, but for absolutely sure, this part of the map will not be safe after the stage 4 circle. It'll be the yellow zone later on, so they'll have to move after this, but for now it's a good place to be. They'll just settle into that area while waiting for things to happen. Yep. Okay, X7, they are positioned nicely in this really nice elevation. They can see Novorepnoye. I believe they can see Novorepnoye from the area. Oxford Esports, they were 3 people from the start, and they have this building for themselves, right smack in the middle of the zone. So with that, everyone's chilling once again. X7, of course, really nice vantage point from this area. You can even see the bridge. All right, we got Susu getting blown up by 1T1. I think this is a vehicle situation that's happening. All right, here, naturally exit. Yes, they already lost Meepo a while ago, but there is a double O nearby. Susu did get knocked out, but managed to get revived. And Drew is taking the position. Nexus nearby, Mavericks right below them. So it looks like they're just chilling out as of this moment. And I'm kind of watching out to what's going to be happening from this moment on, because this is a stage 4 circle. We got 2 minutes before that circle closes in, and I believe there will be some teams that will not be favored by the circle. In fact, naturally exit is outside of the next play zone already. We can see the 307 mark on the mini map, and they got less than 2 minutes left to go to make their plans. If ever they try to take this fight, well, they'll have to do it immediately because they don't have a lot of time. A lot of the teams will be forced to make a move, and so we'll be seeing a lot of vulnerabilities, a lot of open fields, a lot of open actions, a lot of open rotations that will be happening, a lot of opportunities for eliminations. What is happening over here? Maverick, please sack those bullets. All right, Watashi goes right into the ground, peeking in from the shed, but it's Maverick that's gonna be taken out by Watashi. 1T1 still trying to look into this water. There's 4 nearby. nearby. All right, nice shot. Cloud goes right onto the ground. There should be two of their players left. Shen is trying to probably revive one of the players, and looks like actually finishes are the basically one player from the other side of the other team. But here 21 finds the boat, and while they were distracted, unfortunately, they got picked off as well. It's NGB who will be punishing them for that distraction. They shouldn't be out in the open like that, but okay, NGB Esports getting the prey of the other team is just not a good thing to see. But now that since you're sitting ducks, unfortunately NGB will be taking those eliminations for themselves. In fact, I got 10 eliminations already in this game. They're just cleaning the field. Those were 2 free eliminations. Those were just easy takes. It's just absolutely insane. Here, Oxford, still 0 eliminations. They have to join the fray as soon as possible, and unfortunately they'll be meeting NGB first, and NGB is literally on fire. Not just their car, but the 10 eliminations, and the momentum is absolutely insane. And here Otashi is hiding in the shed and a little bit far off from the rest of the team. Zenos is right on the ground. I'm a little bit nervous for this plan, whatever this plan is. They don't have a vehicle that I can see, but speaking of vehicles, that vehicle is getting shot at as of this moment. Zenos couldn't quite get that vehicle to stop, but here 1 versus 1, we got Pokety peeking in with the DBS going on to the second floor. Alright, let's just peek in. Okay, you look the wrong way. Pokety takes that knockout and kill for themselves. Ray's last person standing from Lovins Fraternity gets taken out. And we're down to 9 teams. We got 23 players left to go. We're 24 minutes, almost 25 minutes into the game. Please don't takes out Emmy from XLN KatzeYe. And looks like Pokety fights another knockdown for themselves. Zenos is gonna be going on to the ground. There should be another person from NGB nearby. KatzeYe gets taken out and plays on. Oh, not Zala goes on to Brad. Is he really needs to finish that off, but instead it's Xenos that'll be finished off instead. Well, it's still a win, but nonetheless, they gotten just one more bullet, and they could have taken out Zala as well. But Pokety knows the job isn't done yet. Oh, it looks like Zala peaked, and Pokety will be taking that elimination for themselves. That's 3 eliminations on the side of Oxford. Pokety, nice job. All right, that circle's closing in on Nuviyas after all, so it's a good thing that the teams that rotated early on to Nuviyas, they knew that circle is gonna end up there completely. But it's all right. We're gonna be watching out for the rest of this team, and got Kaiki finally gets taken out, and they got maybe 1 placement point for KH from just staying alive this whole time. So it's good. I guess is it worth it? I'm not quite sure, but 1 point is a 1 point. They still have 3 more chances left to go later on. But yeah, nonetheless, we're gonna keep waiting and seeing what the other teams plan on doing, since we still have 7 teams left to go. As of this moment, X7 is the top team on the leaderboard. They got 12 points from the previous game, but unfortunately right now they got 0. And so they're keeping themselves alive. I believe they'll be going on either for survivability, or they just haven't ran into anyone yet. I'm not quite sure what's happening in this situation. But here, Barusu just peeking. There's Oxford nearby. Oh, Tudum gets taken out by X7's Heezy. No, rather, it's going to be a knockdown. Loki's following up as well. There should be another person from their side that needs to get taken out. But it's 2 players down on your team on Vendetta. It's just going to be a little bit hard. And X7 is doing a really good job picking them off one after the other. And Reed is nearby. That should be the last person on the side of Vendetta. And Heezy can't. I don't think the angle is just not in their favor as of this moment. Looks like the play zone will be taking care of Loki. I'm not sure if the elimination went to X7. I think it did, because I can see X7 has 2 I thought I saw 3 eliminations. I'm not quite sure anymore. Okay, Pokety does get Cloud. And Barusu finds that revenge kill up against Pokety. Totally finds Barusu. Alright, 6-7 goes onto the ground. Nice explosion, but Zexos Eon will be cleaning the place up. DO's 6-7 will be taken out, and Chu's gotta be the last person standing. It's a very small circle, so it's not that hard to clean the place up. Alright, Chu, really nice shot going on to that window, but unfortunately it's not gonna be connecting. Okay, let's see if this is gonna be a better shot. Oh, Itsu managed to get away just in time. And it's just gonna be a grenade fight. Alright, let's see if it connects. Nope. No damage done to Maito or Weetso, but we can see a Molotov burning on the vicinity of Ju's second floor of the building. It's transferring up to the rooftop as well. There's still 7 seats. There's still 12 players. I'm not sure where everyone is. I think it's because Voidera is outside of the circle, but they have to move on really, really quickly. They have half a minute left to go to stay inside of the yellow zone before it turns into the blue zone. X7 still alive, still kicking at number 4. Beyond ZX Eon coming up next. Oxford is a duo. Vendetta, DO, Voidera, and NGB, all of them solo players. That's why we're still seeing a lot of teams. And Chu is holding on to dear life, but that blue zone will be forcing them to move. Let's see what their next move is going to be, because look at that stage 7 circle. It's definitely gonna pressure you in 1.5 minutes. Zexos has to move as well. X7 as well, actually, quite at the edge of this yellow zone. And it looks like it's going to be Oxford that might be making their move instead. They'll try to move into the play zone as early as possible. And there's Watashi, I believe, from NGB, who could possibly move into safety as well. Okay, we got some grenades cooking. Ju, that grenade bounced off. Zexos throwing at you as well. X7 finds Zexos and tries to get cuts of this pie. And so it's just an exchange of damage coming about. Chu, unfortunately, is getting double teamed, quite literally. There are 2 teams going up against this guy. X7 has their sights basically divided between Zexos and X7. And so for sure, they don't have like an unlimited amount of resources, and so they have to be very wise about the grenades they're hitting. But Yami does find Weetsu from side of Zexos, and it looks like Hezi will be closing in person. Once they know that they got 1 knockout on themselves, they know that there's just 1 person left, and now they're using their numbers to their advantage. But Maito is a little bit faster, just a tad bit faster, to go down on the side of X7. Oh, there's 2 now, and is there gonna be a third? Is there gonna be a third? Maito is holding their ground, and nice job coming in. Oh, but Maito finally goes down. It's gonna be Bisbury who will be taking out their team. And X7, they'll be licking their wounds. They lost Maishan, and Yami needs to be revived, but in the end, the risk was definitely worth it. They got 1 or 2. They got 2 rather. They got 2 eliminations from that scenario. And now we are at the stage 8 of their circle. And Bisbury is quite low in health, but it's a good thing because Chu gets taken out, and that's another team that will be saying goodbye from this map. X7, they got 5 eliminations on their side, and so they're climbing steadily. And I believe they have like a couple more points left to go before they shoot up to perhaps rank number 2. But here we got the drone shot of our stage 8 circle. We have half a minute left to go before this turns into stage 9 circle. And stage 9 is an all-consuming blue zone. Everyone will basically just try to survive the environment after this. Okay, we got a grenade cooking. Reed is very safely tucked into the shipping containers. And X7, they have the numbers advantage. They're basically just dealing with a bunch of solo players in this situation. We got Oxford still standing. We got Vendetta. We got NGB. Meanwhile, X7 has the numbers advantage, and they have the momentum. But the question is, how will they play this situation? If I were X7, I'd have to make sure I have at least 1 bullet down or 1 piece of damage done to any of these players. They want to take credit for these elimination points. And so, okay, Reed gets taken out by Oxford, unfortunately. And so that's 1 point going on to Oxford instead. And so that stage A circle closing in. And this is not good. Watashi finally goes up to the ground. Bisbury takes that kill for themselves. And now it's just a hunt for Toddy from Oxford. And Oxford takes a lot of damage. And that is it. Toddy denies that elimination point, but nonetheless, X7 does get that winner chicken dinner. Congratulations to X7. This is survivability holding on until the end. You saw X7 a while ago towards the mid late game. These guys had 0 eliminations. They prioritized positioning, they prioritized survivability, and now they got the chicken dinner and they have an extra 6 eliminations on their side as well. Bisbury has got 3 eliminations. Maishan has 1, Yami has 1, Hizzy has 1. We saw a while ago. They all contributed well to their team in order to get as much points as possible. But coming up second, NGB Esports actually ties with them at 16 total points. They got 11 eliminations, and so that's quite a lot actually. And Oxford Esports has 12 total points. Vendetta has 9, Double O has 7, Zexos EON has 5, Naturally Excellent and SDMZ alike have 4. DØC Esports has 3, Voidera KH, Lovins, Akazaya, Syndicate each have 2. Unfortunately, XLN KatzeYe and below will have 0 points. MVP. We got Zala from NGB who has 5 eliminations, 482 damage, 2 assists, and 0 headshots. Congratulations once again. It's a decent amount of eliminations, a little bit low on the damage, but still, what a great job. Here is the overall rankings. X7 up top at 28, tying with SDMZ Esports at 28 as well. Number 3 is LNN Syndicate with 21, Akazaya with 18, Oxford with 17 alongside NGB Esports. Vendetta has 14, Double has 12, Zexos EON has 12 as well, Natural Accent has 11, and the rest of the teams are still on the 0 digits, and so hopefully these teams will catch up. We still have 3 more maps to go. We got 2 Miramars and 1 Erangel, and so match number 3 will be our very first Miramar for tonight for the Group C qualifiers. And so what a great job, especially from X7. But now we will go on to match number 3, and before that happens, as usual, we will be taking a short break, so guys, do not go anywhere. We'll be seeing you soon in a few minutes.
මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය. උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිබඩැන්නවාන්. මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිපඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිපඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිපඩැන්නවන්
And we are back once again. This is still Ooredoo Nation Gamersland E-Sports Contender Series Season 3. And we just witnessed match number 2 with X7's winner chicken dinner from that situation. And of course, we will be moving on to match number 3, which is our very, very first Miramar map for this Group C stage, for this lineup of 16 wonderful teams. And now this is where it gets exciting because in Rondo, we got our top three teams. Our top three teams, once that map was over, was actually the big names. It was Akazaya, it was SDMZ, and it was Syndicate. Those three teams actually went on to the South Asia PMNC finals. So it was just absolutely insane. Now, rather, the South Asia PMNC. And so those are some really big names in terms of the perspective of Maldives. And so I really, really want to see how they will perform in this match. And the Erangel that we witnessed a while ago, they got picked up quite early on, and so it was a map. It looks like the open field down south from Los Leones, a little bit towards the northeastern of Patona. There's a couple of roads coming in, and well, there's a lot of really good hotspots to land in. We have El Podo, of course. It can be very easily accessible. We got Power Grid, we got Picado, we got Chumacera. And if you guys want to, I guess there's Minas de Valle as well. We have Patona as well, but a lot of people don't like going there. They try to avoid it. Los Neones, it's a 50-50 for the players, to be honest. Some people don't like it, some people choose to go there because they know people don't like it, and it's probably going to be barren, but who knows. We'll just have to keep our eyes peeled as to what players will try to do at as of this situation. And I can actually see around Picado or Graveyard, there's a huge cluster of teams. Akazaya might be landing in Picado. X7 and another team, I kind of forgot what team this is. Maybe this is Naturally Exits, who's going alongside X7. And there's also the pink team that might be going a little bit to the outskirts of Los Leones, possibly running into Akazaya, but we'll have to see later on for any sort of early game engagements that might be happening in this situation. But yes, we will be starting off instead. And there we have it. We got X7. They're going to be going on in a nice pickup truck. Very nice posture, by the way, from Hizzy and Bisbury. They're kind of just sitting there and riding and waiting for their whole team to kind of decide where they're going to be dropping off to. San Martin, they're going to be driving past that, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I can see another car, however. I wonder which team that is. But here we have natural exits around the Picado area. We got DØC Esports. They're towards the south. I think this is around Minas. And then looks like DØC Esports. Yes, they will be settling in, and they will be looting the place up. I'm pretty sure nobody else is here. I'm not seeing any pickoffs here and there. I think there are some teams that came in with only three in their team in their lobby, and so they're kind of just chilling about. And so Oxford is 3-man team, KH also 3-man team, and FTR is a 3-man team as well. So I guess they have a slight disadvantage in terms of numbers, but here we are. We got 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes into the game, and we should expect quite a lot. That Miramar's quite a slow-paced game, and so we're just chilling. We're just chilling, waiting for the teams to move. We got 3 minutes for that stage 1 circle to move. And not much is happening. Not seeing anything in the kill feed. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm just talking about how the teams did in the previous map, because as I said, Syndicate, Akazaya, and SDMZ, they all got picked off early on. And these are, like, statistically the big names, the great sharks, basically, of this group stage. And maybe even the whole lineup of teams in this Esports Contender Series like itself. And so the fact that they got picked off in Erangel, it just let the other teams shine. And as of what I saw, yes, X7 did a massively great job, but also NGB with a huge. Uh, I don't know if it's NGB NG8. I think that's NGB. NGB, they had so many elimination points, double digits. In fact, I'm not sure if it was a 10 or an 11, but they had so many points from that previous map from an Erangel. And Oxford also, they quite did a great job. They had a lot of placement points from their last person. I think Pokety was whether Pokety, no, it was another player that lasted towards the end of the map, and they just held on and got a lot of placement points for their team. Vendetta also really did a great job, especially defending up against Akazaya. That was a really nice highlight. Like, if I say so myself, Vendetta did a really good job defending that situation. And DO is also one of the teams I really want to watch out for as well. In Rondo, they did quite well. In Erangel, they also stood out quite a bit. And so, Double O, we're seeing them right now in our screens, actually, including place up. And right now, we can see where the positions of the team are as of this moment. FTR is quite spread out. We have Chubby on the outskirts, and two of their teammates are near XLN KatzeYe towards the southern part of the map. But yes, that stage 1 circle will be restricting, and half of them left to go. So there's a lot of teams that need to move. Oh, SDMZ's in trouble. Obi-Wan and Amon just went down by the hands of DØC Esports. Predator finds Obi-Wan, finishes them off. Daku finds Amon instead, and now SDMZ's shaved down to half of their team. This is not a good situation to be in. Daku goes right onto the ground, needs the revive, but Mamba's fighting back. Predator, not sure where this guy is, but oh, nice grenade shot. Mamba goes down into the ground, and now Predator's the last person left. Zayu manages to finish the job, and that's the revenge kill that we're waiting for. That is the revenge arc of SDMZ. They lost 2 players, but they wiped out DØC. And now, in the previous game, they were shaved down all the way to like half a team. Didn't quite work out well. And Rondo as well. I think they ended up a 3-man team for most of the part of the map. And so I have quite confidence that SEMZ can bounce back and maybe at least get enough placement points and a couple more elimination points after this situation. But yes, a good job for TO. However, I'm not sure why. I mean, rather not TO, DØC. But well, sadly, SCMZ, yes, they do have the 4 eliminations, but at the cost of losing 2 of their players 7 minutes into the game. And so I think that was our very first engagement, actually. And after that, I'm gonna presume that not a lot of things will be happening. And so with that, here we have it. We're gonna be chilling out. We're gonna be cooking. Teams are just cooking as of this moment. Teams are chilling. The teams are just chilling out as of this moment. And well, FTR, yeah, they kind. I see Lovins Fraternity quite a lot, and they are quite active in the esports scene, and I'm really hoping that they jump off in terms of ranks in this situation, because as of this moment, this rank they can't quite qualify yet. Then again, this is still the 3rd map. A lot of the teams, they still have a huge chance of suddenly turning the tides and turning their fates, especially if you get the chicken dinner. That's maybe 20 points, 15 if you're really playing it safe. But over here, we can have a Bruzy, speaking of which, NGB Zala hiding right behind the car, trying to see if they can get an angle. We can avoid most of these bullets. Watch this happen. Bruzy missed those openings, but nonetheless, Zala goes down anyway. Now Bruzy is just going to be rotating in and trying to finish the job. Zala ran into the ground. Chubby finished that off. Bruzy a little bit too late to the party. That's a kill steal, but Chubby manages to solidify that kill for themselves. But still, there's another team nearby, but they'll have to look beyond this elevation in Impala to kind of find this team. So there were a lot of audio cues, that's for sure. So there will be teams that heard the ruckus, and so they'll be out. They will be keeping their eyes peeled. They'll be watching out for any sort of movements that's happening. And I can see a bunch of things happening in the kill feed, but as of this moment, here is where the mess is. Syndicate coming in, trying to go around Zexos. And okay, let's get those shots in. But man, what was that? Come on, Lucy. Save their souls, heal up, alright. And so they got the 4 eliminations that they need. Zexos finally gets wiped out, but oh my goodness. That was scary. That was a nail, but that was way too close to losing one player. But the good thing is Syndicate is still a full man squad. They managed to heal up the players, and now they're bouncing back. It's a good thing there's no third party whatsoever situation that's happening in. Alright, we're 10 minutes into the game. We still have 14 teams. There's still so many teams to worry about. And so people are chilling. There's XLN KatzeYe nearby. Syndicate's still out in the open. But you guys know Syndicate's quite one of the aggressive teams. But Ayo took a lot of damage. Molly goes right into the ground. Cloud gets that revenge knockout. Alright, we're aiming at the car right now. Come on, let's get those shots in. Let's get those connections in. But KatzeYe managed to get away. Okay, let's see if Ayo can go give that chase. Cloud gets into the vehicle, hits a hay bale, and KatzeYe is just nearby, trying to lick their wounds. They managed to heal up Molly, but I can see a lot of damage happening. Wait, let me see what's happening. Let's see, KatzeYe's in a bit of trouble. They're in a pinch. AU, okay, really nice angle coming in, and Lucy is just floating into. There you have KatzeYe surrounded one after the other. They're going down to the ground. Baboose is going to be first. Robin's going to be following up. And they'll be meeting up each other in the lobby. Molly's half health. And AU has the grenade cooking. Mad goes right into the ground. They need to get revived, but they have a lot of time. But Emmy just ran past by. Took a bit of damage from that shot in from Cloud. Okay, let's see Cloud if they can snipe that in, and that's great kill. That is KatzeYe getting wiped out by Syndicate. What a nice job. They got 8 eliminations already. That's 2 full squad wipeouts. What amazing performance coming in from Syndicate, guys. This is a Syndicate we're talking about. These guys made it to the grand finals of the South Asia PMNC. This is no joke to them. This is absolutely insane. No, rather the grand finals. They went to the playoffs, and it was they actually did go to the grand finals, if I'm not mistaken. And so, what a great job coming in from these guys. But yes. Now we'll just be chilling. Everyone is calming down from that last engagement. And Syndicate, they're still okay in terms of resources. I think they have to worry about their armor a little bit. They have okay grenades, okay amount of grenades. Their ammo, I think you should probably find a little bit more ammo, just maybe a little bit more guns as well. But here, oh, this is SDMZ already. Zayu and Agent, they're still alive. They took this really nice spot, this really nice vantage point. And of course, they will be playing a little bit more safer since they have a numbers disadvantage. There's Akazaya down below. For sure, those audio cues from those cars are just doing the job. Try to climb out this mountain, I think. Oxford's nearby as well. Okay, Itachi took a bit of damage. I'm not sure where it's coming from, however, but I can see from this scenario. Yes, there's a bit of damage happening. Zayu, alright. Zayu, oh, fine. I believe that should be Aku from Akazaya. Okay. Grenade coming in. Let's see if it connects. I'm not seeing things coming up in the kill feed, but Manu, yes, will be trying to get away, trying to get another angle, but they will be going on to Oxford as well. And Oxford is in trouble. Manu goes out into the open, but Zayu's not giving them a chance to breathe. Manu, however, is a little bit faster. Zayu, move the goalpost, tries Aku again. Boom. Okay, that's a knockdown. I believe that's a knockdown. I'm not seeing it on the kill feed, however. I'm not sure why, but okay, let's jump in. Let's finish the job, and that is it. Aku says goodbye completely. Zayu finishes the job. There's grenades cooking between Manu and Oxford in this compound, and so SDMZ is trying to get up from this situation. Chody taking a lot of damage, and it's almost over for Chody. They're still up and running. Manu, however, trying to get this 1v1 in the bag. Okay, Double O's is also in trouble. He found a Natalie exit nearby. Cuckoo's out in the open. Suzu's gonna be cooking up a grenade. We got Maverick crawling onto the ground. Someone got eliminated off. I think it's Oxford finally finding their demise. And 1v1, cooking up a grenade. Double O. They're clustering at. Not a good idea, especially since there's a grenade in this situation. Okay, we got the opening that we need, and 1v1 gets eliminated off alongside of the rest of their team. Double O Esports get 4 eliminations that they need. What was a full squad wipeout, but nearby there's Syndicate, and they probably heard all that audio cues. But here, nonetheless, Orpheus finds Agent from SDMZ as well. There was a knockdown, I believe. And so that just leaves SDMZ with 1 active player left. And so that's not a good thing. That's definitely not a good thing. As a duo, you can't have your partner going on to the ground because that just makes things a little bit too complicated. But okay, I see a bit of grenades cooking up on the side of X7. I'm not sure what their plan is. I can't quite see what they're doing as of this moment. Alright. Okay, it's a bit of a mess. X7 and Syndicate have the same color, so we have to keep our eyes peeled and pay really close attention. Okay, Mad. It's on the ground. Bisbury took a lot of damage back there, and Mad needs to get revived. Look at the amount of health this guy has. But here, X7 is also trying to heal up. AU cooking up the grenade. Let's see if it connects. Doesn't seem to be the case. I don't see anything popping up on the kill feed. Alright, got Yami hiding behind this window, trying to cook up that grenade. Lucy comes in. Tries to get an angle up against X7. Yami's fighting back. Still a full squad. Alright, Syndicate didn't quite get punished by that grenade yet. X7's trying to get the angle in, but it's a little bit hard. Syndicate, they have so much resources. You can see AU, they have 0 grenades. Yami still has 1. And X7, my shot. He also goes down to the ground. Hizzy's the last. I believe there are 2 active players left on X7. Alright, we got some damage coming about. Yami goes and takes a lot of damage, and that's a sidestep coming in from AO, getting 1, getting 2, and that's 11 eliminations for Syndicate, and they managed to wipe out X7. A nice execution coming in, but unfortunately they did lose Lucy. Still, 11 eliminations, 18 minutes into the game. We still have 10 teams as well. What a team. What an amazing team coming in from Syndicate. It's absolutely insane coming in from these guys. Alright, let's watch it for Akazaya. I wonder what these guys are up to. They do have this vantage point, this really nice place. And I see SDMZ, they managed to actually heal up their down players. Okay, Abruzzi takes a bit of splash damage from Manu's grenade, but Bruzy might be fighting back. I saw some bullets coming in. Okay, no damage from that one. Got 2 more tries, 2 more grenades. Trying to draw out the Bruzy. Let's see. Oh, that's a lot of damage. One more good throw. Come on. We're a couple of seconds left to go. Finish the job. Oh, the splash damage wasn't enough. Alright, some blind shots, but they can't quite connect those shots. And Abruzzi heals up. Raze is right behind them. Alright, that was a peek. Manu has a bit of information. There's a boulder where Abruzzi can hide behind, and so this makes things a little bit more complicated. Manu has 0 grenades. FTR has a few. Alright, they're stepping out. I don't know why that happened, but Manu got drawn out, and that was the punishment that we were waiting for. Manu goes right into the ground, but Orpheus is right behind him. Oh no! If Orpheus goes down, it's all over for Akazaya, and that's it, Chubby from behind. We'll be wiping out Akazaya on the floor. Lovins Fraternity gets 3 eliminations that they need. Nice execution from FTR back there. The distractions, the smokes, the forcing Akazaya to use their resources, just great job. Just chef's kiss coming in from them, from their strategizing. But yes, unfortunately, Akazaya will be saying goodbye as of this moment. But nonetheless, we still have 2 more maps left to go. We're gonna be chilling. We can still chill here. But here, Syndicate, they are definitely not chilling. We have another team in this compound camping out. And they're out of blood. They can smell blood in the water, and Cloud finds Asambe. That's gonna be the first knockout on this side of this team. AU is gonna be closing in. They know that they're down by 1 player. They'll be a little bit preoccupied with trying to save their teammate, but okay, we can see Syndicate making their entry. They have the grenades cooking. Let's see what Mod does about this. Can't quite find the opening that they need. A bit of splash damage coming in from for Tomato. Mod you can put another grenade. They got 5 more. They have all the time in the world to do just that. But Cloud does need to get saved as of this moment. Mod's a little bit far off. Death is quite near Cloud, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Okay, grenade in. Let's see if it hits. Nope. There's no hit back there. Got 3 more tries, 2 more. Alright, Death. Oh, nice shot. Matt does get the grenade to connect. And Mashaki Death will be going on to the ground. There should be 3 more active players from this team. They're clustering in one area. And now, I think Syndicate can pretty much just bombard them in terms of numbers. Alright, we got 1 more knockdown. Tomato to go right onto the ground. 5 picks is still out there. Think it might be risky to try to save this guy. Alright, the opening in the door give a bit of information. 1 versus 1! You should have looked there, but Mod still wins out anyway. 5 picks just wasn't fast enough, but Mod gets taken out finally, but the numbers win anyway. Mod got knocked down, but the rest of their team gets wiped out anywhere. It's unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate in that situation, but great job coming in from Syndicate. That's 15 eliminations, ladies and gentlemen. 15 eliminations from Syndicate. They are closing in. They are trying to climb up all the way and take that number 1 spot for themselves. 21 plus 15, that's like 36. We got maybe 2 more maps left to go to really solidify their place in the grand finals. And so it's just a really great job coming in from Syndicate. These guys are absolutely on fire. They find engagements. They win those engagements. They farm those eliminations. And it's just time and time again, this team is just absolutely amazing. What a pride of Maldives. But here we got our next circle is gonna close in the open field near truck stop. There's a lot of elevations and depressions from the landforms here, and we can see SDMZ, they are already quite seldom in. There's Vendetta trying to close in as well. There's a drop that's nearby Syndicate, but no, rather Syndicate, SDMZ. It's nearby SDMZ, but I don't think they'll be risking that just yet. FTR stood by, and NGB is a little bit far off. Syndicate could potentially close in as well. They're quite near, and there's not much of a big risk of a gatekeep that's happening here, but there is a cluster of teams in truck stop, so I'm a little bit curious as to what's going on there. I think there's a standoff, especially since Double O has been basically on their toes this whole time, but nothing's like coming from any of that. Like I don't see any kill feed action happening, but you can see NGB, all their heads are popping up actually, but Syndicate's just using a lot of their trigger discipline. They're waiting for the right moment to strike because they know if they basically move too fast, then they'll give away their location, and NGB might be going for some revenge kills. But here, okay, they're tracking down the movements of NGB, and NGB managed to get their entry into that next play zone. And Mad's just scouting the area, trying to see if there's any other teams nearby. But here, in this truck stop, in this corner of truck stop, yes, there's a lot of things happening. KH Mighty goes right into the ground. Cloud actually takes that knockdown for themselves. Let's see if they can make this a 16 elimination situation on the side of Syndicate. They are on a roll, and they're probably gonna get a little bit more eliminations from this situation. Here, Watashi falls from a long play up from a high place. I'm not sure what happened back there, but that's quite unfortunate. Here, Double O Esports, this is what I'm talking about. Double O, they need to be watched out for. I don't know how they got 7 eliminations. I think we missed a lot of the action, but 7 eliminations, that is not like a small feat. They have 12 points from the previous maps, and suddenly now they got the surge to 7 eliminations. It's just absolutely insane. All right, here in the truck stop, it's a little bit more complicated because there's a lot of buildings, a lot of places, a lot of corners to watch out for. And so, this is exactly what Susu's doing. We're just peeking corners, chilling about. NGB's nearby, Mads tiptoeing from the back. FTR got wiped out. I'm not sure what happened back there, but it's quite unfortunate. Okay, we can see KH fighting back up against NGB's like general direction. I'm not sure if they found NGB or maybe it could be Double O, but here Mad is on the elevation. They see all, and they're trying to get some sniper shots happening. But here, Voidera rather, this is no, rather, Voidera is a different color from NGB, so I should probably take note of that. They're quite similar in color, but here's Syndicate. They found our 16th elimination. Question is, will this be a 17th? Vendetta is joining in to the fray. Full man squad cooking up the grenade send. Can they get that damage to connect? That seems to be the case. 1 versus 1, sidestepping. Ayo takes a lot of damage, tries to heal up, goes right behind this car. And Senny takes a lot of damage. Where is that from? I don't see things happening on the kill feed, but we got a knockdown on this side. Ayo, alright, let's speak up. Come on, let's finish this job. And we can see Reed also taking a lot of damage, and AU manages to get that down. There should be one last active player standing on the side of Vendetta, and they're trying to heal up their most nearby player, and it looks like it's just not happening. Voidera will be seeing their demise, and that is it for their team. But Vendetta, let's see if we can finish this off. Okay, Loki is the one who needs to be finished off. Ayo's taking a bit of damage. Where is that coming from? And it looks like 6-7 finds KH, and they're just putting a lot of pressure on their side. But okay, Vendetta finally finds it back into the lobby. They're going back into the lobby. 6-7. They find this angle from second floor. There's NGB nearby. Susu's gonna make their move. They're just waiting on for the numbers of matches. Try to swoop in. Alright, 1 versus 1. Susu goes right into the ground. The person exchange from right behind. Cuckoo right behind as a backup. Gets our revenge kill. Alright, there's another one to worry about. We got Senzo finishing the job, and unfortunately it's DO who unfortunately wiped out from that situation. Unfortunately, that entrance just didn't work out for them too much. They were careful, but NGB, they did a really good job defending as well. And so NGB, they still have 3 players standing. They got one that got recently revived. SDMZ is holding on to the other. Maha took a bunch of damage from Kaiki from KH Esports. Nice sniping, but it's still not gonna be enough. Watashi, however, gets taken by the play zone. Mighty making their move. Mod is just nearby. Not sure where the rest of Syndicate is, however. Alright, we got Zahu get taken down by Mod from a distance, but Zenos will be getting that revenge shot from this situation. Okay, SDMZ versus Ayo. Versus 1. Alright, sidestepping. Oh, nice shot coming in from AU, but Zayu still alive. What was that? That's 2 versus 1 clutch. AU, come on. AU, What was that? AU managed to actually solo SDMZ. That's absolutely crazy. Syndicate is still alive and kicking, and I believe they are almost at the 20-point mark in terms of eliminations alone. This is a 29, almost 30-minute game. NGB, solo player, KH, and Syndicate both duo players, and so it's just going to be a little bit of an exchange between grenades. They're just drawing each other out. You can see Cloud being really aggressive right now. They are out in the open. AU is going on through another angle, so it's a really good strategy to have, and to try to have a lot of angles, a lot of places to stay in, just in case one gets picked off. At least it's not going to be like an easy sort of victory for the other team. But yes, nonetheless, we can see Kaiki and Mighty kind of making their move as well. All right, Cloud versus two players. Get the grenade cooking. Mighty's prone onto the ground. Okay, let's see if it connects to Kaiki. Nope, not even splash damage, maybe a little bit. All right, let's see if the second throw will do anything. It doesn't seem to be the case. Xenos is unfortunately just trying to stay alive in this situation, and Cloud is using up their smokes. Looks like KH is making their move. Where's Kaiki doing? Where's Kaiki going? Kaiki takes a lot of damage. Zenos as well. Very low on health. And that is it. So that is one elimination done. Kaiki finishes the job. And now it's just between Syndicate and KH. Alright, AU finds Mighty. Nice angle coming in, but Cloud is onto the ground. And there we have it. AU finishes the job. And we are going to see Syndicate taking that winner chicken dinner for tonight. That is like what, 20 plus eliminations plus the chicken dinner. That should be a decent amount of points. Congratulations, Syndicate, time and time again, from early game all the way to late game. They have been consistent with their gaming sense, with their aim, with their survivability, with their communications. It's absolutely insane. Syndicate as a whole. AU and Cloud both have 9 eliminations each. Mad has 5. Lucy got picked off like mid game, so 2 eliminations. Really good job as well. That's 229 damage. But Cloud 1470 damage. What a beast! Match rankings 35 total points. That's crazy, and that's a huge drop to NGB and SDMZ with 11 total points. Double O has 10. The rest of the teams have double digits or none at all. It's crazy. What a job well done from LNN Syndicate. And so we're going to be looking at the MVP, which will be Cloud. That is 9 eliminations, and as I said, 1470 damage, 9 assists, and of course we got the 2 headshots coming in from this guy. What an amazing game from LNN Syndicate. Just crazy, just absolutely crazy. And so now I'm really curious what the overall rankings look like, because yeah, 35 points is not a, like absolutely not a joke. I don't know what the highest score was in the previous map, but 35 was probably like close to it, and now that's just putting Syndicate at the rank number 1. That's 56 total points. SCD coming in at 13, huge gap. Number 3 is X7 with 29. Number 4 is NGB Esports with 28. Double O has 32. LF Akazaya has 21. Unfortunately, LF Akazaya dropped off about 3 ranks since maybe map 1 or map 2. And so with that, this is today's matches. We got SDMZ to start off the day. X7 with our first Erangel rather, and our very first Miramar map. Syndicate with a resounding victory of 35 points, and that is it for our match number 3. We will be moving on to match number 4. After that, it's just gonna be 2 more chances. Our Group C qualifier stage per to kind of try to get as much points as possible to qualify. And so with that, we'll be moving on to match number 4 after a short break. So guys, do not go anywhere. We'll be seeing you soon in a few minutes.
ದುನಿಯೆನ್ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉರಿದುಗೆ ಎಂಫಾಸ ಮೆದುರಿಕೊ ಪೇಪಾಲ್ಗೆ ಹಿದ್ಮೆ ಮಿಹಾರು ಲಿಬಡೆನ್ನವಾನ್ ಮುಳಿ ದುನಿಯೆನ್ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉರಿದುಗೆ ಎಂಫಾಸ ಮೆದುರಿಕೊ ಪೇಪಾಲ್ಗೆ ಹಿದ್ಮೆ ಮಿಹಾರು ಲಿಬಡೆನ್ನವಾನ್ ಮುಳಿ ದುನಿಯೆನ್ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉರಿದುಗೆ ಎಂಫಾಸ ಮೆದುರಿಕೊ ಪೇಪಾಲ್ಗೆ ಹಿದ್ಮೆ ಮಿಹಾರು ಲಿಬಡೆನ್ನವಾನ್ මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ගොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ගොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ගොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය Ooredooge M-Fasa meduriko PayPal ge hitme miharu lipodannuwan මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය Ooredooge M-Fasa meduriko PayPal ge hitme miharu lipodannuwan මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය Ooredooge M-Fasa meduriko PayPal ge hitme miharu lipodannuwan
We are back once again, and we will go straight into our next map, which is our second Erangel for tonight. And so it looks like the flight path will be starting off from the western part of the map. It's going to start off in Hospital, and it'll go all the way to actually straight east, well, this space between Yasnaya, Pollyanna, and Mansion. I don't think it has a name, but yes, nonetheless, it will go on to a straight line, and it looks like it's a bit familiar. Um, Flight path actually, I think it's a bit similar to the very first Erangel map that we saw a while ago, but yeah, nonetheless, well, the teams will be working on with this area as well this time around, and it looks like SDMZ will be landing on to their favorite site, which is Jarki. And it looks like Zaya will be stopping off in Georgia Pool so that they have a little bit more map control in this situation. And it seems that there's a huge clustering around the Gatka area, and also there's some two teams. I can see two teams on Pachinki, one of them being Akazaya as well, and the other I can't quite see the gamer tag. But yes, looks like Orpheus is. I don't know why Orpheus is still in the flight. Akazaya, the rest of Akazaya is over there. I guess there's like a lag sort of situation. But yes, Syndicate has landed around the open area between mansion and the school. We got X7 nearby. DO is about the eastern part of the map, and it looks like that circle will be mostly in the mainland of this map. And so, well, this is going to be exciting. There's a lot of open space, especially in shooting range and Severny. It's quite open up, and there's not a lot of people there. But I saw a knife kill just now. Oxford finds two from the side of Voidera. I believe it should be from Voidera. It's just quite unfortunate from that. This is peak early game engagement situation. You gotta do what you gotta do with any sort of resources that you have. But if you have like a knife, then you'd want to definitely save up on your ammo, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're just using their knives in this situation. But here, yes, Naya Poliana, yes, we can see KH Esports alongside what I believe should be naturally exit or next. And so everyone's kind of just chilling. Everyone is gathering resources. And after the initial two casualties, or maybe even three, I think there's not much happening until now. It looks like VDR Shadow is going to be going down by the hands of Oxford. That is a third casualty on Voidera already. There should be a solo player left on their side. Okay, let's look at what Oxford's up to. They are at the edge of the stage 1 circle. They are in Gatka, in fact, and I don't see the last person from Voidera in that situation. And now we're back to Yasnaya Poliana. There is a possibility that we might be seeing some sort of engagement early, like later on. But KH and next, I don't know if they'll engage, but we'll just keep an eye out for it. But here we can see also another engagement. I believe it could be maybe DØC Esports. I'm not quite sure, going up against another team, but we'll keep an eye out for them. Let's see if there's going to be any other follow-up after that. Nonetheless, yes, Skage Esports just kind of chilling about, gathering resources as usual. We're just less than 5 minutes into the game, so there's still not a lot happening just yet. But yes, NGB, it looks like they're taking a bit of damage. One of their players has been picked out, but looks like Zexos finds Xanos from NGB, and that's a knockdown on their side. All right. And then let's see if it's gonna be confirmed in the kill feed. Doesn't seem to be the case just yet. It still looks yellow. All right, Salo's gonna be followed up. Zexos is on a roll, but Fui gets that revenge killed by NGB, and it's just quite a mess. They're just trading knockout after knockout. NGB, it looks like they are down to one last active player. Zexos EON, however, lost one player and has one more knockdown on their side. It should be a duo at this situation, and it looks like Fui gets finished off completely by Xenos, and now for NGB and ZX Eon, it should be a duo versus duo. Okay, we're finally seeing this in our screens as of this moment with So and Maito. Yes, they are still alive and kicking in the Zexos. But question is, what's gonna happen as well after this? I mean, this is a two-man group from now on. It's gonna be really hard to keep up with the rest of the teams, especially since a lot of the teams are basically minding their own business, farming for resources, and definitely not losing a lot of players just yet. But here we have it. We got a minute left to go before the stage one circle is going to close in. Still surprisingly, KH and Next haven't engaged yet. I guess they don't have a lot of information yet, but KH is actually like walking out in the open quite a lot, and they have a lot of control over Yasnaya Poliana. And I guess Next is kind of just trying to get out of the area actually after they looted the place up. I suppose they have no plans of staying there. Meanwhile, KH is slowly getting a lot of control over Yasnaya Poliana. But Monty was waiting, however, and they're looking at the vicinity of KH. So for sure, they know that there is someone out there. And now it's just a waiting game. It's either we're going to be seeing something happening on the kill feed, something happening else, and somewhere out there in the map, or we might be seeing a development here in a Yasnaya Poliana. It's still within stage one of the circle, so a lot of the teams, especially naturally exit and KH, probably be staying here until maybe stage number 3, depending on what their luck is in terms of the play zone. But here we have it. We're just chilling. Mavericks will be closing in. They're going back to Yasnaya Poliana. So there's probably a chance they'll try to contest this from KH. Who knows? Okay. They're selling it. I'm not sure what's happening at this situation, but yes, it looks like they're not really going on the aggressive yet. Okay, well, we can just shelf this idea for this moment on because it looks like Nex and KH kind of just chilling, and the rest of the teams are chilling as well. I'm gonna assume everyone is just looting up. Voidera, yes, they are a solo player, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. ZX Eon and NGB both have duos, and the rest of the teams, I suppose, probably haven't found any early game engagements. Now we're closing into the mid game because we are on minute number 8, so it's like early, almost mid game. It's definitely still early game actually, especially since it's still stage 1 of the circle. Not much is happening. There are some chance encounters, however, and it of course did not end well too much. But here we have Vendetta. Okay, they are in Jojo Pool. And actually, I thought SDMZ would be in Jarky, so I was expecting maybe Vendetta ran into SDMZ, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And, no, is this Georgia Pool? No, this is school. I saw the pool, and then I was like, and I saw some water. I thought it was Georgia Pool. Forgot Georgia Pool was like the other way around. But yeah, this is the school. VDT, they're gonna loot the place up. There's a lot of good loot here in school, so this is definitely understandable. There's Akazaya nearby, however. And Akazaya, we already know they're quite an aggressive team, and we can see Vendetta's already trying to fight back. Okay, Mahu. Alright, Mahu takes a bit of damage from that situation. And they'll be driving off away because I don't see like any backup coming in from Akazai. I guess Mahu is just trying to scout the place out, and then after this, they'll feed some information to their teams after that, and then perhaps they can act on it. They could like try to get this into an engagement, or maybe not. But okay, poking around from the side of Oxford Esports, and so it's gonna be Grey Team versus Grey Team. Poke Team taking a lot of damage, and it looks like they're about to get knocked down, and it looks like Xenos from another part of the map will be finding Lucy instead. Hold on, there are two different fights. Come on, guys, one at a time. Okay, Ayan Tiago will be taking a bit of damage. They're half health as of this moment. Poketi going right onto the ground, takes a bit of damage. Oh no, they're in trouble. And Tony is also nearby trying to save their teammate, but in return, they also go right into the ground. It looks like Poketi gets finished off completely. Toto is about to follow up into the lobby after this. And Oxford should be a three-man team, so I'm very, very concerned. Where is their last player? I don't think Toby can be saved in this situation. And there we have it. Seni gets that confirmation kill. Zahu falls from Grace, I suppose. I'm not sure where they are. Zayu gets picked off by I believe Akazaya from SDMZ. Well, SDMZ is down to 3 players from this point onward. So that's where Akazaya went. They are preoccupied with SDMZ, and I think they'll be shelving Vendetta as of the moment. But yes, and nonetheless, well, it was an incredible couple of it was an incredible couple of minutes. From that, there are some casualties that just happened, but well, it's fine. And I guess everyone's just gonna be settling in, not seeing anything popping up, like anything significant popping up in the kill feed until now. Okay, Cloud finds Chubby from FTR, Lovins Fraternity. And really like to see that after this. Okay, let's just peek out. And Tiago's still out there, but okay, we can look at the vote yard real quick. We got DØC Esports. They're just selling in. And okay, finally, here we have it. Lovins Fraternity Esports. They're going up against Syndicate. Ayu takes a lot of damage back there from a Bruzy. Nice shots coming in, but the question is, can Ayu still be saved? Let's see. Where is Cloud? Where is Madu? A Bruzy finds Ayu, and that's finally a finisher on the side of Syndicate. Syndicate's down to 2 active players that I can see as of this moment on this screen. And now let's just hunt them down. Okay, Lucy and Cloud are gonna be in trouble, and that is it. They are just gonna be finished off by Lovins Fraternity, and it looks like Syndicate is like down to 1 last player, and that's gonna be Mad. There's Scott, and Mad is trying to get away madly. Mad Max Fury out of there, and it looks like Lovins Fraternity, they will be going on to that chase. You can see Abruzzi's already giving the chase, trying to get this 1 last elimination point. They gotta take care of this. They can't leave any loose. And then there we have it. Mad, last person standing, unfortunately stood still, trying to get maybe 1 elimination for themselves before kicking the bucket. And unfortunately, the curse is real, guys. The curse is real. Syndicate gets picked off so early on. In fact, I didn't quite catch this. Was it Syndicate or NGB that got picked off first? But yes, we saw 2 squad wipeouts just now. Unfortunately, Syndicate, they had a really, really, really good run. I'm not even exaggerating. 35 points in the previous map is really good, but now they'll unfortunately see an early end in Erangel. But here we have Oxford. They got wiped out just now, like literally just a couple of seconds ago. We're down to 13 teams, 13 minutes into the game. By the way, it's a little bit of a mess in this Erangel map. Okay, let's just kind of like keep an eye out of what's happening as of this moment, because FTR, yes, they have the 4 eliminations. That is from wiping out the Syndicates. SDMZ, they lost 1 player. Of course, NGB and Oxford, they kind of got picked off back there. And just looking at the rest of the leaderboards, it looks like most of the teams are actually still full squads. So we're not really worrying about that a little too much. But alright. We have Cloud, we got picked up by Tomato Libis. And it looks like Voidera, that was the last person standing from Voidera, and Voidera will be saying goodbye. We're down to 12 teams. Okay, let's see if there will be another casualty. It looks like DO. It's actually Just got one player knocked down on their side, and it looks like they're about to get finished off as well. And So will be going down. DO's 6 will be finished off by Manu. And okay, Seni finds that, finds Suzu, gets that finisher, gets that confirmation, gets that elimination point for themselves, and a Ju will be followed up by Akazaya's Mahu as well. Akazaya getting the 2 eliminations that they need as of this moment. Alright, we can find Mahu trying to peek up at Vendetta. They shelved Vendetta, and now that they have the chance, they are gonna go in and try to get this engagement in the bag. But otherwise, Lovins Fraternity also has their own story to tell. But let's look at that later. Orpheus does have to be saved as of this moment. What is happening over here? KatzeYe and SDMZ too? There's so many things happening, but okay, let's focus on Akazaya and Vendetta as of this moment, because Vendetta's in a little bit of trouble. Okay, we have some healing things happening about. Orpheus can still be saved, and they're kind of trying to do this first on the side. Seni goes down on their side. Mano's trying to throw in some grenades coming about. Loki goes right outside of the compound. There's a lot of smokes. There's less visibility, so it's a little bit hard to maneuver as of this moment. All right, Seni gets caught up by Manu, and they finish the job. Loki goes down as well. Mahu, however, gets hit by Itachi. Come on, not the friendly fire. But okay, we got agents from another part of the map. They also find knockdown on their side. Okay, we got Reed, the last person standing. Where is this guy? Orpheus is like, where is this guy? We need to finish our job. We got Loki trying to wait for any some sort of save from Reed, but I don't think it's gonna be happening because Akazaya is still a full squad. But okay, since Akazaya's resets, we'll be going on a hunt. I don't know if they have information. They're still searching as if they don't know where this guy is, and so that's probably the case. But okay, Loki finally gets picked out, and that should mean Vendetta has one person left. And Reed. Where is Reed? Where are you, Reed? And Reed is on the car. They're about to get away. Akazaya, you can see Orpheus running, trying to get the chase, and it looks like there's some bullet action coming about, but I don't see it happening quite that much. But okay, we're looking at SDMZ as of this moment. Agent does need to get the revive as of this moment. They already lost Zayo a while ago, but Agent can still be saved. Agent's just healing up really quickly. We got the 4 eliminations, and that should mean like maybe a full squad wipe out here, and I believe this should be Boatyard, and so they're making their move already. Esports, let's look at what they're up to. There's a lot of teams nearby, and they are at the edge of the play zone, so there's a bit of a possibility of a gatekeep on their side, but let's just see if they can make their entry into the play zone. They're just in the cars, just trying to make their moves. Akazaya should be nearby, and Akazaya, knowing Akazaya, they're very aggressive, and so Akazaya should be making their move as well. They're all in their cars, and it looks like Esports will be going into this compound. They're going to be settling in, maybe preparing for any sort of engagement, but might be happening. But yeah, Reed is still safely in there, and I think Akazaya found something a little bit more interesting in the northern part of the maps, because that's where they're trying to rotate into. But okay, everyone's kind of chilling as of this moment. And it's kind of just going in school, chilling. Reed is quietly staying towards the north, trying not to get picked off, trying to get any sort of placement points for their team, if ever there are placement points. Alright, Yami finds Manu from Akazaya, however, so X7 was there up top, and that's exactly why Akazaya got a little bit distracted. So they have their communication in and they probably like shelved the idea that Esports is there in school, and so they're just gonna be dealing with X7. That's what I believe is happening as of this moment. But Akazaya, it looks like they can still save one of their players, and so that's exactly what happened. They got the revive in. They're still a full man squad, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, we got 30 seconds left to go before we got that stage 3 circle to close in. And just chilling. And it looks like FTR is still they found their own engagements as well. Okay, we got Lovins Fraternity. They find Tomato Billies. Nothing's cooking a grenade. You UTF gets taken out by Raze. What are these names? They're very entertaining. But okay, we got full squad wipeout that we saw from Lovins Fraternity, and now they're just cleaning the place up. Lovins Fraternity with the 8 eliminations, really good job, really good start to this map, and it's noticing that they have 11 points as of this moment, total points from the last 3 maps, and now they have 8 points. It's coming along really, really well, and hopefully we can see Lovins Fraternity in the playoffs at least. But here at SDMZ, they got their really nice gunshots, and they are aiming up at Akazaya. I believe that should be Akazaya, but there's also DØC Esports nearby. There's a lot of angles that they have to watch out for, otherwise they don't want to get picked out, or like they don't want to get the divide and conquer sort of situation that's happening. But here Orpheus is gonna be dealing with a 3 versus 1. Orpheus has a 2 close range players from SDMZ to worry about. We got Obi-Wan on the long range. Orpheus are hiding behind this car. Oh, gets one, however. Flanky gets taken out by Manu from Akazaya. And Akazaya, Mahu is disconnected. I'm not sure if they got picked off. I don't think that's the case. But here, Manu, yes, finds SDMZ, scopes out. Let's see if they can get any finisher. Their side, Agent and Obi-Wan are the only ones left standing on the side of SDMZ. So they have to play it very, very carefully. And so with that, we're kind of just chilling about. And looks like we are looking at the stage 4 circle. And Manu is just closing in on X7. And Reed is still trying to hide out. Okay. We're going to be watching out for Akazaya's movements because it looks like they'll be closing in. We have X7 who's just staying stationary. They can see Akazaya's movements, and it looks like Manu will be trying their luck on Yami, and Yami takes a lot of damage back there. And it looks like FTR and Zexos are also added at each other. Manu takes down Yami as we saw a while ago. Finally registering. Okay, Maisha, nice shot coming in from Manu, and he's nearby. Heezy will try to save will try to save their down rather their teammate. And so with that, our ice field Bisbury takes a lot of damage, and that's down again. SDMZ, however, will be stealing those kills. That's unfortunate for Manu, watching their kills get taken away by SDMZ, but that's part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, you win some, you lose some, but here we have Akazaya. Manu does need to get revived, and we can see Mahu dealing with SDMZ. Itachi, however, I'm not quite sure where Itachi is. I think Itachi is trying to revive the rest of the players, but yes, nonetheless. Manu, yes, crawling about in this place. I think Itachi should be nearby. Oh, Itachi gets caught up by Obi-Wan from SDMZ, and now it's just Mahu. That's all that's left. I saw a Molotov burning about just as I saw a while ago. And the SDMZ is going to be closing in, and they should probably clean up the place. It looks like Agent finds Manu, or at least gets credit for that kill. But there we have it. Itachi gets caught up by Obi-Wan as well, and Mahu gets taken out completely. And that is it. That's 9 eliminations for SDMZ, and that's considering the fact that they have been a duo for quite a while in this game. What a team. They still got a decent amount of elimination points with a handicap, no less. And so with that, they got the 9 eliminations that they need. I'm pretty sure they're already in placement point territory. They have almost double digits in terms of points at this moment, and so kind of just chilling out, and looks like the circle is gonna close in at stage number 5. You can see there's a lot of places. There's a lot of teams rather that will be going on into the yellow zone really, really quickly. So Reed definitely from the side of Vendetta will have to move, and that's gonna be really, really delicate. It's gonna be really dangerous for the side of Reed, especially since they are going for placement points, and they're already getting placement points at least. But okay, SDMZ, they're staying in the building and they're playing it safe as of this moment because first they do have like just 2 players left, and so they have to play it really safe. But guys, it looks like we will be joined in by another caster. It's gonna be
Wow.
Sam. So Sam, can you hear me? Can
Yes.
we go ahead and can you go ahead and tell me what's going on right now in the map?
Yeah, in the map, it's really actually hectic for now on. 6 teams ahead with 25 minutes in game. Despite this, we can actually see from the statistics from qualifiers A and B, we could actually see the match are genuinely much longer. And for now, actually, I think SDMZ they're dominating with Syndicate head to head. But Syndicate actually has really nice head start points with 56 indeed, but SDMZ with 39. But let's actually see, because I think they could actually surpass them with 9 eliminations in hand.
Okay, but Bruzy will be going on to the fire, to the heat of the battle. It looks like KH are quite low on health. They're hiding behind this fence. There's no chance whatsoever that they can safely heal themselves up. A Bruzy half health. Shampoo finally going on to the ground. Gets finished off by Maverick. Their side SDMZ is also nearby. KH is still quite alive and kicking. You can see Ray's last active player standing on the side of Lovins Fraternity, hiding in this shed. And they are hiding from several teams all around the place. And so it's just quite a mess. It's just really quite a mess at this moment in time. The stage 5 circle. So with that, let's keep an eye out for what happens next, because we still have 6 teams, 27 minutes left to go. We got a couple of seconds before that stage 5 circle closes in completely, and we'll be moving on to stage number 6.
Yes, but for now, actually, we can actually see the phase 6 actually closing indeed, but I think it's gonna go to the right side of the map. And actually, I think we could see KH and actually the team next. They're actually really an advantage for them. But one of the players from Team Next, they're actually having a really nice angle from now on. We could actually see some elimination feeds coming in from their name. And actually, we could actually see KH Esports from now on. They're actually going to go to the zone. It's actually a high risk, high reward play. But for now on, they're just closing in. And I think they will go to this place first, closing in one or 2 eliminations and getting one more. And that's actually a really great start. But the Nate fight will go for DØC Esports. And actually, DØC Esports gets one knocked out. The last one standing Predator, I don't think he could actually last that long. So, seeing one more player on the grass, on the smoke, yeah, I think really Predator is not giving any signs of he could actually continue the match. Nades here and there, left and right, but for now on, we could actually see 91. They're on a verge of clearing this area. They're fighting. They're giving some nades in, and actually Predator is on the open for now, and actually he's actually eliminated. 4 teams left.
Ooh.
And let's see who will be the winner for this game, Randy.
4 more teams left to go. I think it's going to be turning into 3. Vendetta gets taken out. That's Reed finally finding their device. But still, there was a lot of placement points. So whatever Reed went through this whole game, considering the fact that they were a solo player from like, what, minute number 8 or something, it's so worth it. They got like so much placement points from finishing 4th, but here we have naturally exit. They're still within the game. They got 4 players in their side. SDMZ is literally holding on to dear life. Obi-Wan, however, will be denying that elimination point from the rest of the players by getting taken out by the player. But over here, naturally exit. Maverick does need to get revived. KH, however, they already have 3 players left on their team, and so it's just kind of like an equalized sort of situation. What? A grenade hit. There are 2 casualties from that, or rather, so 2 knockdowns, and so it's just Meepo that's gonna be all that KH needs to worry about KH. They know they have the numbers advantage. They just need to come in and swoop in and try to take down Mipu with their numbers on their advantage. We got a lot of smokes coming about. Mipu still hiding behind their vehicle, and now all that's left to do is watch out for what's gonna happen here. Okay, Mipu finally picking out, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Mipu gets taken out, and KH gets that chicken dinner for tonight, and that is it. It looks like we have our chicken dinner winners. Congratulations to KH Esports. Nice grenade, that grenade in the last few minutes of the game. That grenade gave them that victory. That was so crucial. That grenade throw had 2 knockouts on their side. That just made it so much easier to basically divide and conquer and leave Mipu alone. And KH Esports, they had 3 players versus 1, and that just made it so much more easier to take them out. But there we have it. We got 3 eliminations on side of Mati. Kaiki has 1. We have Scorpy with 2 eliminations, and Shafu has 0. I think Shafu got picked off early on. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's the case. But here, the match ranking: 16 total points for KH Esports. SDMZ has 14. Fraternity has 12. Natural XX has 11. Vendetta has 10. Akazaya has 9 points. DØC Esports has 3 alongside Zexos EON and Oxford Esports X7 and NGB each have 2. And we have Double Esports and another team with just 1. Here's our MVP, Manu, has 1,126 damage, but unfortunately only 4 eliminations. I think there's a lot of kill steals that happened here. I saw it happen. I think SDMZ actually stole Manu's kills back there. We can see like in the VOD review. I think we just saw it was caught on camera. But here the overall ranking: Syndicate still up top at 57, but SDMZ Esports is right behind them by 4 points. X7, however, huge drop by 22 points down to 31. And with that, NGB and Akazaya is just right behind them by 1 point. That's easily contested with our last map. And so with that, we are gonna move on to match number 5. Miramar, there's only 1 chance left. 1 chance left for tonight for our Group C qualifiers. For our Group C to qualify for either going straight up to the grand finals, or they'll try to go for the semifinals later on. And so with that, there's a lot of pressure, especially for the teams around maybe rank 7 going down to rank 11. There's still a chance that they can make it to the semifinals. But for the teams that are comfortably at rank number 5, I think they basically they know that they have a chance to go at least semifinals. And some teams, I think Syndicate will probably go straight to the grand finals, considering the fact they have so many points. But yes, nonetheless, we will be going on to match number 5 after a short break as usual. So guys, do not go anywhere. We'll be seeing you soon in a few minutes.
දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරුදු පොඩැන්නවාන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිබොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිබොඩැන්නවන් මුළි දුනියෙන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍ය උරීදුගේ එම්ෆෑසා මෙදුරිකෝ පේපෑල්ගේ හිතුමේ මිහාරු ලිබොඩැන්නවන්
And we are back to our final match for our final match for the qualifier rounds for this Ooredoo Nation Gamers Land Esports Contender Series Season 3 for PUBG, of course. And so Group C has been a blast. We had bunch of big names and also a lot of new names that have been doing so well in our tournament so far. And so the question is, which of these teams will be moving on to the semifinals? Which of these teams will be moving on to the grand finals straight away? And which teams are we going to be seeing in the next streams of this tournament? And so we're all very excited, and I'm sure the fans are very excited to see their favorite teams move forward. And I'm really excited too. I mean, I have my own bets as well. But yes, of course, before that happens, we will be seeing this final map, which is going to be Miramar. And after Miramar, won't be any more chances for these 16 teams to prove themselves. And there we have it. We are going to be pretty much using the same flight path, I believe, or I'm out tripping because it's still gonna go down from El Pozo all the way down to this open field near Partona and the south of Los Leones, and I don't know. It seems like it's gonna be the same game, I suppose. I don't know if people will be landing on the same area, if that's the case, where the circle is going to be. It's probably still going to be in the middle. It's quite predictable. It's very, very rarely. The circle is very, very rarely off skewed from the center. And so with that, looks like DØC Esports will be landing onto the ruins smack northwest of this very big map. And so I'm a little bit concerned if ever they'll have to rotate out of that area. But here, La Cabrera, there is going to be two teams landing on the same area. And so we're kind of like just crossing our fingers that there might be some early game engagements that might be happening. There's a huge cluster of teams, maybe 4 or 5 teams, going towards the general direction of San Martin, maybe the graveyard as well. I'm sure they'll be landing on different areas. There's still the Hacienda del Patron, there's still the graveyard, and there's still Pecado as well as the power grid, and all the little nooks and crannies in between. And so they all have places to be. They can pretty much choose wherever they want to go. They can all just chill out. And so with that, we are almost 2 minutes into the game of our very final map for this day number 3 of the qualifiers. And of course, it's not too much pressure just yet. This is still the qualifiers. So we can just like chill out for this moment. We don't have to go all out yet. All we have to do is make sure we qualify. But here we have it already. One casualty is gonna be Raze from Lovins Fraternity. Unfortunately, I don't know why Raze was all alone, but that's what I've noticed about Lovins Fraternity. They love splitting up, and that's, I mean, it's actually valid because you'd want to split up and try to cover as much places as possible in order to get the best resources. But at this part, yeah, it's a risky sort of situation, especially if you have a full squad that basically punishes you for being a solo player, for trying to get resources solo. And so unfortunately FTR will be walking around with just a trio as of this moment. But yes, SDMZ, they do have their area of their part of the place. It's around the coastline, and so they'll be looting the place up. That, or maybe they'll be rotating under the area. They do have a car on their hands, so they'll be using that to rotate into some other better lootable place. But here, Voidera and Akazaya landed on Picado in the same place, and as you can see, they're pretty spread out. So it might be a recipe for disaster actually. So as of this moment, we'll just have to be watching out for if Akazaya decides to make their move. So since it's very early on into the game, we're going to be expecting that everyone's trying to conserve their resources. You can see Orpheus, their AK has like what, 31 and 17 ammo, and so it's going to be a very huge, a very capital Ladders triggered discipline from this point onward. They still have an SDMG as their alternate gun. They have a couple more over there, but they really don't want to risk using too much resources whenever they don't have to. But Okay, we got 3 minutes before that stage one circle will close in, and it looks like Akazaya is choosing not to be aggressive this time around. Now, Akazaya is sitting comfortably at rank number 4. For sure, they will not be knocked off by 5 whole ranks whatsoever. And I think they can move on at least semifinals. They're pretty much comfortable up there, but I think Akazaya, they could potentially save a lot of energy by skipping the semifinals completely and qualifying for the grand finals immediately by landing the third spot, the third rank. And for that, they have to overtake X7 and make sure the rest of the teams right below them doesn't overtake them as well. There's only 3 slots that go straight to the grand finals, and Akazai, I'm sure they're one of the teams that could qualify for that comfortably. But the big names, Syndicate and SDMD, they're sitting comfortably at 50 something points, and knowing that the typical chicken dinner winners have maybe an average of 20-25 points. That's it. So some Syndicate and SDMZ, for sure, they have it all set. They're set for life. Not really for life. They're set for the qualifiers. They're actually set to go on to the grand finals already. I'm not too worried about them. But from rank number 3 down to maybe rank number 12, they're gonna be vying for the semifinals, and maybe from X7 going down to Vendetta, they'll try to vie for that rank number 3 spot just to save some time and just to not worry about the semifinals that will happen. And so they definitely have to work a little bit harder for that. And so with that, and just chilling about, and well, it looks like Akazai really will be um pretty much saving their energy, but it looks like Aku will be sniping down Cloud, just as I was saying. And it looks like Itachi has found ACSE as well. So there should be 2 more active players on the side of VDR. And so it's going to be a little bit hard. Asa is going to be finished off. A couple of sprays on. All right, we got 2 casualties so far. Cloud got finished off as well. Barus and Shadow. It's on the other side of Picado. And I think Orpheus and Aku have some information. They know that they're there. And now Amahu is just trying to go in and go for some backup. And look at the guns that they're using. It's like they're trying to save as much as possible. No, Baruso has good guns, okay? They have this SDMG and they have a decent amount of ammo on their main gun. But the armor, however, has it could be better. Oh, where did that come from? Aku came out of nowhere. I think we were both not paying attention, but Akazaya, that is gonna be their 4th elimination. They managed to wipe out Voidera completely, and that is it. That is prime Akazaya movement. Going on the aggressive, just waiting for the right movement to strike, and that's exactly what happened. But over here, we have SDMG trying to loot this truck up. FTR's Abruzzi is nearby, however. Okay, Abruzzi actually managed to take down Flanky, and Zayu took a lot of damage from that. Oh, I don't know if they knew. I don't know if they had information that Abruzzi was there, but Zayu has 0 healing kits. They have 15 bandages. Where did that come from? Nothing. From another angle, takes down Zayu. Flanky is still in trouble. This is not looking good for SDMZ. Zayu gets finished off, and that just leaves 2 active players from the side of SDMZ, and now I'm really nervous. FTR came out of nowhere. SDMZ was minding their own business, trying to loot up the truck, and Flanky gets taken out by Chubby's grenade. And where is Obi-Wan? And Obi-Wan is trying to get away from this situation, try to at least, save their skins. And I don't know where Agent is. Okay, Agent's a little bit far off. The Agent and Obi-Wan, they are worlds apart. Not really literally worlds apart, but 2 versus 3 is definitely doable. It's just that SDMG got taken by surprise. They don't have any information as to where FTR was. And so the angles took them by surprise. They couldn't hide out just in time. But all right, we got nothing. Gets taken out by Agent. Alright, at least the playing field has been equalized. It's gonna be a 2 versus 2. Chubby's trying to get away, but where is that shot coming from? Agent took a bit of damage. Nothing is nearby. Nothing needs to be revived. Chubby's still in their car. Where is a Bruzy? A Bruzy's way too far away. There's a snipe coming in hand. Let's see if they can connect any of those bullets. Doesn't seem to be the case. But will be finished off. Alright, there we have it. But Agent gets drawn out. Chubby takes advantage of that, and Agent gets taken out completely. What a play from Lovins Fraternity. SDMZ, Obi-Wan, let's see if they can solo this 2 versus 1, and Chubby goes down right into the ground, but Abruzzi's still alive, and Obi-Wan gets taken out, and that is it. Lovins Fraternity managed to take SDMZ by surprise, finishing the job as well, and now Abruzzi can go heal up one of the players, but they did lose 2 players from that skirmish, and so they got 4 elimination points that they needed, but what cost? They lost half of their team, and you better hope there won't be a third party. And so we'll just we're just gonna chill out really quickly. And there we have it. We got 53 players left remaining. We got 14 teams left to go. Got 53 players, and we can see a lot of bullets flying from Syndicate. Where is that? Who is that team? Who is that team that Syndicate has eyes on? Mad finds one knockout, I believe so, because there's still 0 eliminations. And there we have it. Mad manages to finish off Shen. And so that's 1 elimination on their side. Syndicate's on a roll. They had a really good run, especially on the other Miramar map. And so we're just watching out for what they're planning to do on the second Miramar map. Will Miramar be their miracle map? Will Miramar be their pretty much their money hill as of this moment? Because that's a question that we want answered as of this moment, because they're doing so well in this qualifiers already. In fact, the 35 points that we saw 2 maps ago, that was no doubt an overkill, but still, we need to be patient, ladies and gentlemen. We absolutely need to be patient. But here's Syndicate taking their place out in the open, and Akazaya is also nearby. Just looking at Akazaya, they're still a 4-man squad. They still have their whole team standing, so they can still go completely aggressively. But here, Dio is showing their skins. They have their cars in hand, making a lot of audio cues, and Akazaya is also nearby. Dio going really aggressive, on a really aggressive stance. Either that, or they're trying to make the rotations into Picado already. You can see Akazaya is already starting off, trying to take down this car. Susu and Kuku are in, but I think they'll be disengaging actually. Okay, Lucy finds one from Akazaya. Mahu's going right onto the ground. AU will be taking that knockdown actually from another angle. Okay, we can see a head popping up, trying to save another player from Akazaya, and so Syndicate will have to rethink this angle that they have as of this moment. You can see EU and Cloud. They're gonna be skedaddling out of there with their car really quickly. We have Mahu from Akazaya still in Picado, trying to shoot at the car, as we can see here. Aku finds Cloud, however. Oh, Cloud's in trouble, and there's a lot of bullets. And Ayu, you should not have gone out of that car, but at least they're still alive. I think Cloud is just trying to save IU, giving them cover by putting the car on park. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Syndicate is in a bit of trouble. Lucy finds Orpheus. Okay, let's see if we can get some bullets to connect. Orpheus goes right out into the ground, and that's a knockout for themselves. Akazai is way too far off to try to save Orpheus in this situation, but let's see if they'll prove us wrong exactly. And so IU, yes, they got off the car, managed to save Cloud. It was actually so risky, but it worked out so well. They had to save as much of their numbers as possible. It was a high risk, high record sort of thing. It's either they lose all of them or lose just one, and they chose to save both. It's absolutely crazy. But okay, we're gonna be simmering down, and we'll be really patient as of this moment. We have to be completely patient. But okay, you can see some grenades coming about. Syndicates going on the aggressive. Akazaya is still at it. And Akazaya needs a lot of points to at least try to vie for that rank number 3 spot. SDMZ, I'm pretty sure nobody can probably overtake them unless X7 or Akazaya or even NGB will get like maybe 25 total points from this map. That's the only way that this is going to be possible. But Syndicate and SDMZ are very comfortably up there, qualifying for the grand finals. But here, Syndicate and Akazaya still going at it at each other. You can see mine is actually in a smoking car already. But nonetheless, yes, I'm seeing a lot of things happening in the kill feed as of this moment. It's just a bunch of exchanges. It's just a bunch of trades between bullets, between grenades, and I'm seeing a couple of eliminations, a couple of casualties. I think in particular this is gonna be Double O and KatzeYe, and this is exactly what we're looking at. It looks like KatzeYe just dropped into the ground just as we see what's happening in the camera. It looks like Double Esports has the 4 eliminations that they needed. Syndicate rotated all the way to Los Leones, although it is outside of the play zone. I think they're trying to hunt down something in this situation. I'm not quite sure what they're looking for here, but that's exactly what's happening. Who's the Viyas? I think this is where NGB Esports has decided to stay in. They're settling in nicely, and this is still within the play zone, so they can camp out here and wait out for the rest of the teams to close in. But there is Vendetta as well. Vendetta will be settling in maybe water treatment. I think that's the area. I'm not quite sure, but here in GB, yes, they'll be just checking the dunes, checking the desert, trying to see any sort of movement, but there won't be anyone. I don't believe there's anyone this far out. Here, Truck Stuff has KH Esports. They're just settling in, still 0 eliminations, and so they probably didn't find any sort of engagements just yet. We're gonna be expecting this game is probably gonna drag out for 15 minutes or so, 15 more minutes or so actually, to be precise. But here, next level, I mean not next level, no, naturally exit. Jesus, what am I saying? But yes, naturally exit is also nearby, near the vicinity of KH. Question is, will KH go ahead and give the give some sort of engagement towards this side? Here, Vendetta Patron, as I assume this place is, Vendetta is taking their place. It's still within the stage 2 circle, but it will shrink down quite a lot after that, so they have to keep themselves on their toes. Here, naturally exit. Okay, they got some grenades. Last grenade of 1T1, so they gotta be very, very smart about this. KH, Shafu, climbing up top. Mate on the cars, but 1T1 gets caught up by Scorpy. What a nice shot. Scorpy was looking the entire time, and I'm gonna assume the rest of KH was actually trying to bait them, but okay, Shafu. They have disembarked their car. They're gonna be climbing up this elevation and trying to get some sort of angle up against this other team. That was be naturally exit. Okay, we got the grenade trades. And let's see if it connects. 1T1, just a couple of HP left to go. Let's see if this splash damage. Yes, it's Gaiki who will be hitting 1T1, and that is going to be a crucial part. But oh, I think 1T1 fell off, like quite literally. Okay, Koki is hiding behind the porch of this house. We got Maverick as well, right behind this fence. Koki, yes, will be taken down. Wow, Kaiki is actually really on a roll as of this moment. Scorpio's just trying to heal up really, really quickly. Maverick tries to rotate, but takes a lot of damage instead. But it wasn't enough to get a knockdown. Mipu is still right at the bottom of this positioning over here. So it's one good grenade. Let's see if it's gonna connect. Doesn't seem to be the case. My team will go down right onto the ground and try to finish the job. Mipu, however, gets shot out by Kaiki and it gets finished off as well. And so that is 2 eliminations already on the side of KH. There's still Maverick and there's still another player that's still cocky inside of this building, and KH knows they have the numbers advantage, so they're just gonna storm in comfortably. Maverick takes that, and that's a lot of information, and Mighty goes right onto the ground just to get another angle, and Maverick will be the one who'll be losing this 1 versus 1. Koki will be next, and that is it. That is another squad wipeout. We have 11 teams left to go. Next, unfortunately, we might be seeing them in the next tournament because they did not qualify, unfortunately, even for the semi-finals. KH, however, they still have a chance. They are ranked number 7 and doing a really good job from this point onward. And so they're closing in on the 30-point mark, but it's quite a climb if they want to catch up in terms of maybe Akazaya, who is already at rank rather not ranked on 34 points and climbing as well. We're still 11 teams. There's still 38 players left remaining, so there's still no placement points if ever you get picked off. And so without NGB Esports, they're just they're kind of just rotating, chilling. We're going into the play zone, the stage 3 play zone. In fact, all right, we got Scorpio. They find Vendetta actually. Where was Vendetta staying this whole time? Okay, look at DØC Esports quietly staying in the hacienda of the patron. Okay, here we go. KH Esports, they found Vendetta, and Vendetta's just minding their own business in this compound, but now they're getting stormed out by KH, and KH is doing everything that they got and trying to get as violent as possible, as aggressive as possible. Looks like Senny will be going onto the ground, will be getting knocked out, but there's still a chance to revive their teammates. KH has them surrounded. There's AKC Akazaya towards their eastern position, and you can see Mahu is already trying to take them down. But okay, Tudub goes right into the ground. It's actually gonna be Mighty who will be responsible for that. There's still Loki. There's still Reed. Loki peeking out, trying to see if they can get an angle up against Shuffle. Shuffle's right on there and takes a bit of damage back there, but Vendetta will be giving away their location as well. It's a double-edged sword. KH will be knocking down their doors very, very soon for sure. And Reed, they're trying to find a way to save the rest of their teams. There's still a possibility. That's very much a possibility that it can still happen. They can still heal up. They can still reset. And Shafu might not want that to happen exactly. Tunub, yes, I think this is still possible. I don't know where Senny is, however. I think it's still revivable. We can still bounce back from this, but over here Mahu from Akazaya, however, will be suffering just a bit. It looks like Akazaya will be down to 2 players. Messi from DØC finds 5 picks as well. KH Esports still has this elevation. They couldn't quite finish the job with Vendetta just yet, but still, no matter, we still have 4 eliminations on the side of Akazaya as well. Itachi Inaku is still alive. There's Cuckoo from forgot the team already. DO rather. Cuckoo's still alive towards the western position. We got KH, still full squad, trying to snipe off the other places. Jaco from DØC finds Tomato Lilies. And Vendetta is still in the same place that we left them. Okay, Akazaya, Itachi, they're rotating out of the area. They're gonna be going into the play zone from the graveyard area, and it looks like Messi finds Mashaki Death as well. There's a knockdown. There's an elimination as well. We got a lot of casualties already, just judging off the leaderboards that we're seeing as of this moment. And it looks like Scorpio won't be giving Vendetta an easy way out, but okay, we're giving the chase. We're going on to our cars and try to rotate as well with the other teams. But here we have it. We have the play zone's going to be moving once again. The goalpost has been moving once again. Stage number 4 circle will be closing in half a minute left to go. DØC Esports, they got the 4 eliminations already, which is a really, really good start. And now they have a chance to basically take this cluster of buildings. I can't even call this a compound. Is this even counted as a compound? But this cluster of buildings will be on the control of DØC Esports from now on. There's KH nearby, and there's a lot of teams that should be rotating really, really soon. I can actually see a couple of cars closing in. KH, they're half inside of the circle, half out, but they do have compound for themselves. And so it should be easy to defend themselves. And so it's going to be a patience game from now on. All right, we see a little bit of action. NGB Zala finds someone from, I believe, from Syndicate. And Syndicate, they've been doing so well, but they're trying to be quiet right now. They already know that they qualified for the grand finals already. Got 2 eliminations on their side. All right, Lucy's trying to take down Chubby. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. They should take down Chubby as of this moment. But it looks like they can't quite finish the job. Syndicates, you're at the edge of the circle. Chubby is still in the blue zone. The Cloud, they want that elimination. They want that elimination. Chubby is there for the taking, and there we have it. 1 versus 1. Cloud is dangerously low on health. IU's following up very, very low on health as well. It's a good thing that the blue zone is still not closing in. Chubby gets finished off. FTR is in trouble. There should be one last player in FTR. I'm not quite sure where they are. I didn't quite catch where the position is, but NGB comfortably inside of this compound. And Reed, believe should be the last person in VDT, might be in trouble as of this moment. And oh, there we have it. NGB is also taking a lot of damage, and Zaula is actually the last person standing in this situation. Vendetta, rather, I'm a little bit wrong. Vendetta's still a full squad. It's actually another player and trying to take this I don't know how you call this landform for themselves, just to try to get some really good vantage point up against the teams, especially since they have comfortably rotated into the area where there is basically just a good vantage point while staying within the play zone. There we have it. Shafu nice sprays up against DØC Esports. They could potentially like clean this place out of places, but Scorpion unfortunately gets taken up in Mambo just by stepping out of this house. Shafu out in the open surprisingly had to get him taken out. Alright, peek out, and Mighty takes you out with 1 HP left, and there we have it. Zaula actually finds Mighty instead. Zaula was peeking out and trying to see if he can get any sort of stray kills. Okay, Kaiki, come on, give that chase. 1 versus 1, and there we have it. The blue zone finishes the job. Mighty does get the kill from Predator and Messi as well, and Mamba going down. That is the end for DØC Esports. We're down to 8 teams. We are almost, actually, we are in placement points. I believe we should be in placement points territory as of this moment. Zala does get Mighty, so that's 1 elimination. At least don't know. Oh, they didn't manage to get away from that grenade. It's either that or stepping away into the line of sight of another gun, but still, it was a lose-lose situation. Here, Akazaya Itachi trying to heal up. What was that? Grenade hit Senny. Nice aim. And Itachi was just trying to heal up and get hit by the grenade, but that's a nice job. It's a really nice hit from Senny, but Senny is not over just yet. Senny's still out for blood. They find shot from KH, backs away really quickly. They're only a quarter health left. Heal up. They have a lot of resources to do just that. They have a lot of resources to go on the aggressive. Right now, it's only the top 8 teams. There are only 6 teams left from this situation. We got 3 players left to worry about. We got single players, NGB and with the 10 eliminations already is absolutely insane work. Okay, we got NGB nearby. Alright, that's a nice shot, but unfortunately Reed will be taking out Zaula. NGB had a really good run, especially with Zaula carrying the team to a bunch of placement points, but it has to end sooner or later. And there we have it. We got 5 teams up. We got 11 players left standing. X7 there on the crosshairs of a lot of teams. Vendetta, especially, they have a really good line of sight on them. KH Esports still going on the aggressive. They got 10 eliminations, but on the other hand, they are down to 2 last players. Sandy tried to take an elimination, but unfortunately, the kill went to someone else. He got eliminations right now. Someone got picked out. It looks like Vendetta will be saying goodbye first. Now we're down to the 14 Syndicate. 2 active players, 1 down. X7 a duo, KH a duo as well. Kaiki gets exploded right in the face with a grenade. Shafu, you better go avoid that grenade really, really quickly. We got Lucy throwing the grenade, bombarding everything with everything that they got. AU with the Molotov. AU, another Molotov. AU has so many Molotovs, and this place is on fire. Literally, Bisbury finds Syndicate's Lucy, and so that means AU is all alone. Where is Lucy? Lucy can still be saved? That is the question. Lucy is. Yes, they are definitely trying to save Lucy, but look at the inventory of AU. They've expended everything, most of everything that they got. But of course, in return, they did have the elimination points that they need, or did they? Here, X7, Bisbury. Here's a duo. So Yami should be nearby as well. We got KH. Shafu should be a solo player as of this moment. Nasa Generales. We got stage 7 circle. We got maybe a minute or two left to go in this game. Things will go really, really fast. So you cannot blink. Things can go really fast in situations like this. We got a couple seconds left to go before that stage 7 circle will close in. And there's still X7 who hasn't comfortably stayed inside of that play zone. Here, Shafu is all alone, trying to use the smoke as a cover. Syndicate probably got some information that Shafu is somewhere there nearby, and now Lucy got to peek out, trying to get some Shafu action. And unfortunately, Shafu is just playing too defensively, knowing that they are outnumbered. X7 coming in, going on the aggressive, tries to get the vehicle elimination, but unfortunately, Syndicate sidesteps. Bisbury going full F1, but unfortunately Shafu is going to be taking out Bisbury. There should be one last kill. Lucy will steal that kill from Shafu. Yami is within the smoke. AU blindly tried to shoot out, and Yami got the vision that they needed. AU will be going on to the ground. Question is, will there be revives that will be happening? I don't think that's the case. 1 versus 1 as this situation calls for it. Lucy very low on health. Yami takes them down, and that is it. The double kill comes in, but it is still KH Esports. That'll still be Shaofu, the guy who was soloing this last 3 teams, wins this winner chicken dinner. That was a crazy last few minutes. That was a clutch. I really thought X7 had it, but when it mattered the most, KH Esports comes out victorious. Congratulations to KH Esports. What a great job done. What an amount, what a number of eliminations. In fact, look at that. We got 4 plus 1, 5 plus 5. We got 10, 13 total eliminations. Aiki got 4, Scorpio got 1, Shafu got 5, and Mighty got 3. Shafu, the real MVP in this situation. This guy held out their own all alone, knowing that there are 2 other teams with duos. Just waited for them to pick each other off, and then coming along and cleaning up the mess, taking those eliminations for themselves. Congratulations, Shafu, with the 1,191 damage, by the way. And so here are match rankings. We got 23 total points. Syndicate has 13, X7 has 9, Vendetta has 9, Double O has 8, DØC Esports has 6, NGB has 5, Akazaya has 5, Lovins Fraternity has 4, Naturally X has 3, Oxford and SDMZ has 2, VHNH has 1, XLN KatzeYe has 1. We got 3 teams that unfortunately got 0 points in this situation. I think 2 teams only, not another qualifier round. It's just, but yes, that's it for our match rankings. We should be seeing the MVP for the, and that should be Shafu. No questions asked. It's Shafu, last person in this map. 5 eliminations, 1191 damage, 4 assists, solo the last few minutes of the game, knowing that there's still two players, both Syndicate and X7. Easy work coming in from Shafu. congratulations. Very, very much well deserved. What player? 1191 damage once again, ladies and gentlemen, and 5 eliminations should definitely have been more. Here are overall ranks, however. Syndicate 70 total definitely do not need that much. Still, it's crazy work. It's SDMZ Esports with 55. We got Esports with 58. And so those are our three teams who will be moving forward to the grand finals directly. From rank 4 to rank number 9, they will be going off to the semifinals. So that X7, Vendetta, NGB, Akazaya, O Esports, and Lovins Fraternity Esports just managing to qualify. Unfortunately, natural exit below. They will not be playing for the playoffs. And here we have our MVP for this qualifier round. It's going to be AU from Syndicate. Very consistent job from this guy. Got 16 eliminations spread out through the 5 maps with a dash of 2,757, 1,624 damage taken, 10 assists, and 3 headshots from this guy. Crazy work. Absolutely insane player. And so with that, we're gonna be going on to what's gonna be happening later on. And so we have actually our uh I think we're gonna be rather no I'm reading the actually, KH, congratulations for the double peat. By the way, I'm just reading the schedule that I got sent right now. It looks like semifinals will be the top 6 teams from each group that goes to the finals. I'm not quite sure if this is the case, but yes, from June 21st, 8 p.m. onwards will be the semifinals. It'll be 5 matches, and so the grand finals. You know what? Let's just take a look at Instagram for the final match schedule, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, congratulations to the teams that will be participating in the semifinals and the finals. And once again, guys, this has been the qualifiers. This is the final day for the qualifiers for Ooredoo Nation Gamersland Esports Contender Series Season 3 for PUBG. Guys, do tune in to our social media for the final announcements as to which teams will be moving on to the semifinals and also to the grand finals. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next stream tomorrow around the same time. But for tonight, goodbye.